All right, well, we have some news to report, and that is that numerous major outlets in the last 30 minutes or so have officially declared that Trump will win the presidency with 276 electoral votes. That, of course, exceeds the threshold of 270. So Trump has been elected president as number 47. He was number 45, Biden number 46 right now, and then Trump will be back as 47. So that news just broke in the last half an hour or so. Obviously, busy news day yesterday on the Florida front here. One of the biggest. Who's making noise over there? Who's?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got little.
Everything makes noise around here.
You know, you're right. Everything does. Everything squeaks and creaks. And do you think we'll ever have the new studio? Will we be here to enjoy the new studio? I don't know. So, obviously, one of the biggest stories in Florida was Amendment number 3 and recreational marijuana, and that failed. So, Amendment 3. While the majority voted for Amendment 3, recreational marijuana smoking here in Florida, it did not meet the threshold. It failed the threshold by, about 3 points? Because you have to have a supermajority of 60% or higher for these amendments to kick in here in Florida. And the supermajority was not reached here in the state. So there'll be no recreational marijuana smoking. Now, medical marijuana that remains intact. That remains in effect.
Yeah,
so
the same way it's been.
Yeah, medical marijuana is unaffected. That remains in place. But recreational marijuana smoking has failed in the state of Florida. Also, Amendment 4, obviously another big amendment. Amendment 4 has also failed. Again, majority of voters voted for it. However, it did not reach the 60% threshold. So obviously a lot to digest here. The Senate goes to Republicans. The House is still really being figured out as to what will happen there. So obviously big election news overnight, and that's where a lot of the most followed issues, both national and state, that's where that cookie crumbles right now. Now, Fester, you actually voted yesterday, I believe. You voted day of?
Yeah, I strolled in my polling place at about, 12:30.
Yeah, we voted. I once had a little bit of a policy that I liked to vote on Election Day just in case anything changed or anything was altered, any news broke. Yeah, and what I've done is I've kind of modified things. Now, sometimes I will vote on Election Day, or I'll push it to the last day of early voting. So I voted with Michelle on Sunday, and Chloe as well, on Sunday morning. That's when we voted. Yeah. So only a couple of days prior to the actual election. And I doubted that anything was going to significantly change my mind between. But as far as you, Fester, was it seamless yesterday when you voted and you took the kids along, right?
You know what? I was going to.
Oh,
that was the original plan.
Yeah, to kind of introduce them to civic responsibility and the ability to vote and kind of get them acclimated to the process.
No, I know why.
Yeah, and then I realized they don't give a crap.
No, they do. They care about the sticker.
Yeah, the sticker.
My kids were going crazy for the sticker.
I took a sticker for them that said "Future Voter," and the dog was chewing it within like 30 seconds after I gave it to him.
Did they put the sticker on and then the dog chewed it off their shirt?
Well, they have the whole table of stickers. I took my I voted sticker, and then I took 2 of the future voters so I could talk to the kids about what's happening. And Hadley took hers, put it on her shirt, took it off, put it on the couch, walked away.
And then the dog chewed the damn sticker up?
And the dog's like, I'm like, what's in his mouth?
Dog ate my sticker.
I'm like, why did I even think about?
Is your dog chewing everything? This is the new dog that you didn't want.
No, I don't want this dog.
You still don't want the dog?
I like the dog. I hate everything about dog ownership.
All right, so
That's a good way to put it.
Pet Scrooge Fester, the whole family, both kids wanted a dog. Allison wanted a dog. Everyone begging Fester for a dog. Finally, Scrooge Fester gives in, and you don't like your dog?
The dog itself.
So you like the dog? You don't
as
like
a creature,
right?
I'm okay with.
All right, and this was a cockamamie. What was the name of the dog?
It might be it's a cock of something. Cockadoodle?
Isn't it a cockapoo or
no? It's a poodle. It's half poodle, half Bernese
Python?
No, Python. It's not Bernese Python.
Half Burmese. It's Burmese Python.
You have to lock it up at night so it doesn't come and strangle you while you're sleeping.
It's a Bernie doodle.
A Bernie doodle.
Burmese doodle.
Has nothing to do with snakes. Has nothing to do with anything.
For Fester, he wished it was a cheese doodle.
Oh, man.
So half poodle, half cheese doodle.
The dog is chewing everything.
When you touch the dog, you get orangey fingers.
But you can lick your fingers after you touch the dog.
You get traffic cone orange or construction vest orange powder all over your fingers with Fester's dog. All right, so you didn't bring the kids as you were planning to do.
There were some old ass people at my polling place.
Well, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
I'm just saying that everybody who graciously do they volunteer for that job? Or do they get paid a couple bucks?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know.
I don't know. In my county, Hillsborough County, I guess the supervisor of election was an office on the
That
ballot.
that would be plural. Supervisor of elections.
So
Not just one election. It's not just the supervisor of election.
I did not get the pen with his name on it. Usually he gives out a pen.
Yeah, same
with his name.
Same at my polling place on Sunday when we voted early. They usually give you a pen, and then it also has that little rubbery soft tip, so you can use it on touchscreens and stuff.
Makes it practical for after the election.
Same deal. When I voted early on Sunday at the Jan Platt Library in South Tampa on Manhattan, usually when you check in, you show your ID, they hand you your ballot and your little cover folder. There's like a little circular pen holder where they say, hey, and grab a pen, and it's yours to keep. Nope. None of that. Not that freebie did not exist this time around. And instead, in the little polling stand, the little table, there were just a couple of regular black ballpoint pens that were sitting there.
I did not feel comfortable leaning on that little folding table at all.
That thing would collapse like it was made out of a cracker, a saltine.
Yeah, those are kind of flimsy. Poll workers do get paid, by the way.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there for a long time. And it's a hard job, I would imagine.
6:08 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. Going to be a busy Wednesday morning, the day after the 2024 election. 6:09. Let's grab traffic with Triner. MJ Morning Show back in minutes. This is 104.7 FM, and as always, it's highly appreciated when you spread the word that the MJ Morning Show is back, and hands down, pound for pound, the most entertaining, consistent morning show in the Tampa Bay area is this right here, the MJ Morning Show, 104.7 FM, Q105. Now, I don't know how big an issue this is, but I thought it was interesting. Taking your shoes off at work, is this a proper thing to do? What, you're in your cubicle, you're at your desk, whatever. I don't know if you're working at Target as a checkout counter person. You're taking your shoes off. I mean, I guess the customers can't see it if you're behind the deal, right?
I mean, you go to the DMV and the clerk has no shoes on. You don't know.
You don't know. And
maybe they sit there the whole time.
Well,
unless they have to walk and get your plate from the back, and then you see their socks.
Sit, stand.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I just thought this was interesting. There's a little bit of a debate going on. I guess there was a debate online on a Reddit thread that... The question is it okay to take your shoes off at work? Listen, I think it depends on whether they're visible, and I think it also depends whether you got some feet reek.
Yeah.
Those two factors go into play. Where it's never acceptable, people flip out, is on airplanes. So a lot of people flip out if you take your shoes off on an airplane.
I'm not as close to you while you're working as I am sitting next to you on a plane. It's a little different intimacy level.
Yeah.
Listen, on a long-haul flight, and I've taken plenty of long-haul flights, I've been on 15-hour flights.
Whoa.
In fact, I'm gonna have a 15-hour flight coming up in March. Just a little heads up. I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going scuba diving in March, okay? So little heads up. And I've got one of my flights is going to be it's going to be a 15-hour flight. And you know what? I'm going to take my shoes off on a 15-hour flight. Now the question is, do you leave your socks on? You leave your socks off? But let me tell you what I have seen on an airplane, and I was going to bring that up as well, Roxanne. I have seen people take shoes off and put their feet up on the armrest. And we're talking about an encroachment on the armrest. And it's typically the aisle seat. It's kind of tough to wedge your foot through the gap between the left seat, the aisle seat, and the window seat. It's kind of tough to jam your foot through the little gap, to the left and the right of the middle seat. But I have seen people put their foot up on the armrest.
Yeah.
On the aisle seat, because they're sitting behind, they'll put their foot up, and I've seen the foot hit the elbow or the arm of the person in front of them. Now that's disgusting.
But that's a different level of closeness than when you're at work. I mean, if you work in a shop where you have to have steel-toed boots, you don't take your shoes off.
Yeah, on my Instagram, and it's way back, folks. Listen, it'll take you 4 days to find it. But on my Instagram, it's probably 10 years ago, I did take a picture of somebody with bare feet on an airplane, and they had their feet I think they were window seat, and they had their feet up and on the wall of the airplane next to the window, and bare feet just what are you doing? And I kind of surreptitiously Took a pic. By the way, my phone doesn't go. I have the shutter click sound. Why would anyone does anyone in this room have the shutter click sound on your phone?
No.
When you want to take a quiet picture without anyone knowing, last thing you want is your phone going. And on my phone, I have the option to have the shutter noise, the artificial fake shutter noise. And I'm sure, so you guys are both on Apple iPhones. I've got an Android. I've got a Google Pixel. But I would imagine the same thing on the iPhones. You can have your camera shutter make a noise or not, correct?
You know what? I never really paid attention.
Me neither.
Is it off by default maybe on your phones? Yeah. Anyway, so taking your shoes off at work, it's kind of quite the debate right now.
Well, I do always laugh when I'm driving. Speaking of like seeing feet places, when you're driving down the road and you see like someone's feet hanging out the window, or you see the feet pressed up on the glass. And you see,
yeah.
And we always, like my girls and I always point out, they're like, "Oh, look at those pigs."
Yeah, I like to
those
say
little piggies.
I like to say, put them on the glass. Put them on the glass. Put them on the glass. No, but seriously. And to me, that's dangerous. You see somebody rolling down like I-75. They're doing 75, 80 miles an hour. And I've seen both. I've actually seen the driver with their foot like out the window or up on the dashboard, not their left foot. It's, the left foot is, used for the gas and the brake. Unless you're my Aunt Gail, who used to drive with 2 feet, and it was the herkiest. You ever known anyone that drove with 2 feet?
No.
My mom's sister, Aunt Gail.
She drove with her 2 feet.
Yeah, she one foot, right foot was the gas, left foot was the brake.
Oh, I thought you meant she did the steering wheel with her.
What are you doing? No.
I saw a documentary once of a woman with no arms, and that's how she drove. I mean,
with her tongue?
No, right
with
foot,
her mouth?
Right foot. Working the pedals, lefty steering.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Aunt Gail, man, she was the It was like it was like whiplash.
That's like bumper cars.
Yeah,
really.
and I'm sure there are people listening. I'm sure there are some 2-foot drivers out there.
2-foot drivers are
but
crazy.
I've seen the individuals in their cars, and same thing. A lot of times it's the passenger, and they've got their feet out, or like you said, they've got their feet up on the dashboard and they're pressed against the window, and that's dangerous. You get into an accident, man, your ankles are getting snapped off like little pretzel sticks, man.
Oh man,
Can you imagine that? So
well, I people want to take their shoes off at work and they feel like it's appropriate. No one's going to see them. Whatever. You know what my thing is lately that I notice more frequently I'm taking off, and I don't do it at work, but my bra. Like I'll go to places.
You'll take your bra off where?
For example, I was on Halloween night. I was out with my sister and
hold on. You took your bra off to go. Did you take it off while trick or treating and kind of fish it out through your armpit?
I did.
Really?
It was kind of dark. I was standing over with my sister and another one of her neighbors.
Why?
And I was like,
why did you take your bra off?
I'm about to tell you. I said, "I'm sorry, ladies. I got to take this off. It's just my bra's giving me anxiety." And guess what? They both related to it. They're like, "Ours too."
Wait a second.
It's almost like your Cinderella and your carriage turns into a pumpkin. Like I can go all day with a bra, but then if I have to go deep into the nighttime hours with a bra on, I lose it. I'm like,
how does
get
it
this
give
off of me.
Wait a minute, how does it give you anxiety?
Because it's like just constricting, and you're just like,
but hold on a minute. I can understand.
Have you ever worn a bra?
Listen to me. I can Fester. I wanted him to wear a bra, but that's a whole different story.
Fetish he has.
Yeah,
It's really
we stop it. All right, so here's the deal. No, just because with your large man boobs, I wanted you to go get fitted for a bra.
You're closetedly into that crap.
Whatever. All right, so Roxanne, I can understand physically being annoyed by a bra if it doesn't fit or if it's been on all day and it's bothering you.
Yep, there you go.
That leads to mental anxiety?
More physical anxiety.
Bra-anxiety?
Once you know something's bothering you, it brings you some degree of distress.
Yeah, like a little kid who doesn't like tags touching the back of their neck when they wear clothes and you have to cut all their tags out.
No one does. I mean, who likes tags rubbing against your neck?
Yeah, you're one of those weird little kids. I'm sure you were. I'm sure mommy had to cut all the tags out of your shirts.
I don't think. I mean, listen, some tags are annoying, whether you're a kid or an adult.
One of my kids is like that.
All right, back over to the shoes at the office. Now, there's a debate. Is it okay to take your shoes off at the office, and like sit at your desk or sit at the cubicle, or the other aspect, the other part of the discussion, some people take their shoes off and walk around in the office in their socks or bare feet? So not just at your desk. Listen, kicking your shoes off at your desk, whatever, but walking around barefooted or with just socks on, you shouldn't do that.
Take your shoes off. That's kind of the only option to travel.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't inherently have like stinky feet. So like normal shoes, I don't have, I think what would be.
Oh, let me guess. Your breath doesn't stink in the morning either. And your bleep don't stink. Like you're just.
What do you, can I finish up here?
I'm teasing.
He believes that second one.
So my feet inherently have never had any like really bad like foot odor deal. However, Fester, do you remember when I wore those Timberland leather dock shoes,
boat
shoes.
shoes, yes.
Do you remember? Oh,
And-
my God.
And you can't wear them with socks.
Right.
And it just,
So for a while, this is like late 90s.
this was your look for a little while.
Yeah, I was wearing my khaki shorts, a nondescript kind of colorful tee, and then I would wear my Timberland leather boat shoes.
Oh.
And, Fester just found them online. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what the interaction was between my bare feet and these Timberland shoes, but it was the worst reek. It was like a chemical reaction from hell. I mean, it was awful.
There's no place for your foot to breathe
Yeah.
inside these leather bags.
But whatever the story was, man, oh my
The
God.
worst.
It was like a gassing. It was like a chemical attack.
Yes.
It was and you know the thing, like where if people have like BO or something, they don't smell it themselves.
Yeah.
It's just everyone else.
Everyone else
Let me
does.
tell you, with my foot issue with these Timberland shoes,
Uh-huh.
oh boy, yeah, it would run people out of the room, and it would run me out of the room. I wanted to amputate my ankles. Anyway, bottom line is I got away from the shoes because you look like a total turd bag if you
wear
wore those
socks.
with socks. So I drifted away.
Mm.
Yeah, is what I did. All right, folks, it's 6:32. Let's do early morons in the news next. Got a nice pile. Morons in the news. Early pile in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. So. maybe the creepiest morons in the news rejoiner. Just added this one.
Yeah, it is creepy.
Yeah, little morons in the news bumper music. You know what that's from? It's from Kill Bill. That's a creepy little thing, little whistling.
Okay, yeah.
All right, 6:41 at the MJ Morning Show. The early morons of the news are on. You know, I had this for a couple of days, and I just didn't get around to it. But, you know, never. I'm typically very timely with morons of the news. But if there's something that I didn't get to that I think is significant, I will bring it back up. Like this. This was crazy. An insane passenger on a United flight beat up another passenger. And, well, there are some special circumstances. Of course, it's a Florida man.
I would hope so.
What if this is going to end up on that? What's that new show you're watching?
It's Florida, man on HBO Max.
It's Florida, man, right?
Yes.
An unhinged Florida man pummeled a deaf and nonverbal passenger while he was sleeping until the cabin was spattered with blood. Did you hear this?
No.
This is the freakiest damn story. This was a United Airlines flight. This occurred about 2 hours into flight 2247. It was from San Francisco eastbound to Washington Dulles. What is that? Was for $50. Name the airport code. Oh, Fester, you're looking at it, dude.
I didn't know what you were going to do.
I was going to ask what I was going to quiz you guys.
I don't care.
It's IUD, right?
It's IUD. Yes, I got a flight into IUD.
I bet you do.
Yes. Oh, really? What does that mean?
No.
Got a flight right into IUD. No, it's IAD.
Yeah, I don't.
Gonna land your rocket in IUD from SFO.
What do you say?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I don't want you to think for a
sneaks
second
in.
any of us care about airport codes.
All right. Well, I was going to whip out a little quiz for you guys.
And it would have gone over terribly because they'd be like, I don't know.
All right. Anyway, bottom line is Everett Chad Nelson, 44, got up to use the airplane lavatory, according to the complaint. While returning to his seat, Nelson stopped at seat 12F and without notice began physically attacking a sleeping male passenger by punching him repeatedly in the face and head until blood was drawn.
Geez, let's go back to talking about airport codes. This is terrible.
What the hell?
This is awful.
The next thing I know, I just hear these blood-curdling screams. Sandhya Gupta. What if that's a relative of Sanjay Gupta from CNN?
He's a cousin.
Yeah, who was sitting in the row behind the victim. He was just very violently and aggressively just pummeling the guy who was in the window seat, who was in front of me, and it was vicious. This wasn't like a bar room. I'm going to, throw a couple of punches. I mean, this was vicious, is what Mr. Gupta said. Nelson starts just pummeling and beating the living out of this defenseless man for apparently a full minute.
And this guy, like you said, is deaf?
Yeah, deaf and nonverbal. So finally, a good Samaritan, another passenger on the flight, jumps in and rips the attacker off of the victim, who's getting his face beaten in for like a minute. Nelson, the perp, split the man's nose open, causing blood to splash all over the seat, all over the cabin wall, the window, the sleeves of the attacker's windbreaker. The victim was also left with 2 black eyes. After the two were actually separated, a doctor, good thing it wasn't a Spirit flight, who happened to be on board. You ever hear that joke?
Yeah, there's a comic who said, "There's no doctor on a Spirit flight."
Hey, find that. That's a funny joke. Find that little comic relief during morons in the news, which typically there is but this is a terrible story, and it's like, what snapped? What the heck happened? When he was trying to communicate with us using sign language, that's when we realized that he was deaf and nonverbal. He was able to communicate with United crew members through phone messages. So I guess he was I think he was just like texting, or he was just like typing onto his phone and letting the flight attendants read the message or the verbiage that he was just typing on his phone. My
Poor guy.
God. So he kept texting, "I'm so scared. This was awful," he said. Well, yeah. Now, I mean, why did this occur? Why did this happen? What snapped in this Nelson, this Everett Chad Nelson? Just a freaking bizarre story.
Drugs?
I don't know. Flight attendants moved Nelson to a seat up front and put the Good Samaritan who got involved in charge of keeping watch over him. Why didn't they cuff him? Why didn't they duct tape his head to the seat headrest?
Right.
I mean, this is insane. There's no motive. The last I saw, there was no motive to this attack on what the heck. I don't know, was the guy kicking the seat? I don't see where the attacker was seated, just that he stopped at 12F. What happened here? Gupta, the eyewitness, told ABC7 that during the text exchange with the victim, a flight attendant wrote that the suspect had claimed some nonsensical story that, and this is just bizarre. So we don't know the real reason for the attack. So the attacker must have a screw loose, but there's some kind of a story that the attacker claimed that the victim attacked him in the street earlier. What? What? I mean, it's just...
He thought he recognized him and had a vendetta to settle?
Listen, this clearly, the guy's off his rocker.
Knock out a deaf mute.
Anyway, the TSA contacted the FBI mid-flight, indicated there was a level 2 disturbance on board, and that constitutes physically abusive behavior. That's level 2. We got a level 2.
Yeah.
Got a level 2 breaker 19. Yeah. Level 2.
What's a level 3? A killing?
I don't no. Yeah. Here it is. It's an incident. Okay, so it is an incident above a level 1. A level 1 is disruptive behavior. Level 2 is escalated, and then apparently level 3. Listen, this is good stuff. Level 3 is an attempt by a passenger to breach the flight deck. So if you're trying to break into the flight deck, that's a level 3. So this guy rose to a level 2. Anyway, this is just a nuts, crazy story. The attacker, this Everett Chad Nelson, he faces federal prison time on this thing. So we'll see what actually happens. Hey, did you find that doctor joke?
I think so. Comedian John Crist.
Yeah.
All right,
this was circulating for a while, like maybe 6-8 months ago.
Yeah.
This was circulating as like a reel on Instagram. And when I saw this, I'm like, man, that's funny. I actually laughed out loud when this came up when I was scrolling. I'd hit it, play it.
I was on a Spirit Airlines flight, and there was like a medical emergency. You know what they come on, they're like, is there a doctor on board? And everybody was panicking, and I was just like... I go, there's no doctor on a Spirit Airlines flight.
That's funny. And listen, I'm a Spirit convert. For the quick trips and a weekend trip from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale to see my parents, I'm a Spirit convert. I said that I would never fly Spirit, and now I've flown Spirit 3 times in like 6 months.
You're about to earn a free flight. You fly him so often.
You know what? I'm watching my little Spirit meter. They have a little bar. I'm tracking. I'm getting close to silver.
I mean, as long as you don't have a medical emergency, you're going to be fine. Right?
By the way, it's silver plated.
It's
a Spirit Airlines.
It's silver spray painted.
In the spirit of jokes, maybe I'll have to save it for after the break, but I have a joke related to what we just talked about.
Is it quick?
Yes, it is.
All right, go ahead.
Well, it's a hearing impaired joke. What do you call...
Wait a minute.
Because you just did the story about it.
What could be funny about a hearing? You're going to make fun of deaf people?
No, it's
awful.
You're going to get canceled over a deaf joke?
Oh, go ahead. Have at it.
It's also like an 80s music joke. So it's great for our genre.
Okay.
What do you call a cougar who gets older and has to have a hearing aid?
A def leopard?
Yes.
Oh, my God. That's the joke?
I saw it as a meme yesterday. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Step inside. Walk this way. That joke sucked. Hey! All right. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. 7 o'clock hour starts.
It's also an age joke, a hearing impaired joke and an age joke.
All right, 7 o'clock hour starts next. There is a woman that has a big O problem. Does she have a big O problem? I'll splainulate next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. It is 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, everybody. MJ here with Fester. I got Roxanne over here. Any more jokes you'd like to deliver this morning, Roxanne?
My stand-up act will continue after the show.
Oh, it will. Okay, where are you appearing this week?
Funny Bone.
Oh, yeah, very nice. All right.
What do you call a bunch of raging deaf people?
I don't tell jokes like that. This sounds very inappropriate, Fester.
A quiet riot.
Oh, okay.
See, Def Leppard was your punchline.
Guys, get out of here.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Oh,
yes.
boy. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. 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 Oh, yes. Yes.
Can you imagine that 25 times a day?
Yes.
No, I was reading a story about this woman that has a rare condition, and that happens to her about 25 times a day.
It happens to her, or she happens it to herself?
No, she's got a rare condition. She's got PGAD.
What?
PGAD. It's PGAD. It's like PGAD. This woman, a 29-year-old woman, believes she's developed persistent genital arousal disorder known as PGAD. I have no idea if it's actually referred to as PGAD. Yeah, 29-year-old woman believes she has this syndrome, and it's a rare condition, and it causes unwanted arousal and unpredictable Big O's. Isn't Big O's a cereal? Oh, I'm sorry. Those are Joe's O's. That's the Cheerios ripoff from Trader Joe's. Those are
Yeah.
Joe's O's. Yeah, Big O's. I'm sure there's a Big O somewhere. No, this woman's got a rare condition.
It's
And-
Honey O's, by the way.
What?
Post Honey O's.
Honey O's?
Yes.
Okay. But there's also Trader Joe's.
Joe's O's.
Yeah, Joe's O's. Anyway, what about Joe's Hose?
I mean, that's what you enjoy when you have Pagad. Pagad? Pagad?
Pagad, yeah. This is crazy. So a 29-year-old woman says that it is so disruptive that she can't work and she doesn't leave the house. I mean, could she be like at the supermarket? I mean, could she be like on the canned vegetable aisle and she's, kind of looking at, some corn or, maybe some maybe some veg-all.
Honey, is this the can of vegetables you want?
Oh, boy. Oh, my God.
Is this the
Yes.
one? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, this is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, what if she's on the meat aisle?
Right.
What if she's looking for a nice piece of meat?
Honey, what do you think of this cut right here? Huh?
Yes.
How about
good
the
marbling.
how about the skirt steak?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll get it. All right. I heard you. Everybody heard you.
The whole store heard.
Yes.
So I might as well just put it over the PA system.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if she could pull it off where she was somehow like faking that she's not really having that happen and like turn it into a sneeze or something. You're like, what if she's on a job interview and that starts happening?
So
Could she somehow fake
yes,
that
achoo.
Yes.
Yes, achoo.
Yes.
Yes, achoo.
Yes,
choo.
yes, yes.
Do you have an allergy disorder we should be aware of?
Can I get you to simulate that?
No, I did that one time and I got a lot of hate mail, so no.
Holy,
Remember that?
What? No.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No. What happened?
This is like a couple months ago.
You got hate mail on the show. Listen, you were just
Yeah.
you were offering up, just trying to disguise it with a sneeze.
Yeah.
Listen, my take was awful. I thought maybe you'd have a better take. Hold on, what is this hate mail you
don't
got?
remember that?
No.
Oh my gosh. I mean, maybe it was only, 3 or 4 people, but it was I don't know how we got on the subject of it.
You put way too much stock in like one comment or 2 comments. All right, anyway,
Well,
so
haters going to hate.
But what was the issue that you got the hate mail?
Fester, do you remember this? I don't know what spawned it. I don't know what started it, but we were playing this clip of Meg Ryan.
Right.
And then it was like, Roxanne, can you imitate that? And I did it. And it was, then people were like, I can't believe you did that.
Oh, no.
And
There are children.
I'm
listening.
sorry.
Yeah.
The
children.
car. So, yeah.
Don't put too much stock in like one complaint.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, don't get all bent and twisted
Mhm.
because, one person has
Well,
has an issue.
we like to make the listeners happy. But yeah.
Well, maybe
I
you
know.
shouldn't. All right, so no,
Radios
so
have dials for a reason,
yeah, Pagad.
Pagad.
Yeah.
It's-
So apparently this woman has trouble going outside and she strangers listen to this. Strangers have even asked if she's allowed to be around children.
Oh,
Because of this. Listen, I
that's
feel
taken it to another level.
but you know what? I never heard the term PGAD, this persistent genital arousal disorder, but I have heard of people having like spontaneous, big O's.
Yeah.
And I think it's mostly women. I don't know if I've ever heard of guys, but I think I've recalled over the years hearing about a medical issue with some women and the spontaneous orgasmic issue.
Well, it shouldn't be called PGAD. It should be called R-rated AG or AD.
Sorry, what? Oh, PG as in
Mhm.
oh.
Ah.
I get yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
PG-13 AD.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least.
Anyway, this was a discussion on Reddit.
Does she get a disability check? Does she just
You know
sit
what?
at home
That's
doing
a
this
good
all day?
question.
Listen, if you are medically determined to have this syndrome, I would imagine that this could qualify for some type of federal disability or state disability and payment. You know, you're right.
Sounds like what's her face almost got PGAD. Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's right. We
when
talked
she did
about
her
that.
movie. Mhm.
Yeah, there was a recent story about Nicole Kidman that was on set with this much younger male co-star. And didn't she say she had just like shut things down, that it was getting like too much for her?
She needed
Yeah.
a break.
That she was acting, but it was getting to the point where her arousal was turning real, right? And she had to turn it down.
Yeah, she had to dial it down.
She had to take breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Got
hang
tired
on a
of it.
minute. Andrew's telling me we've got a caller on hold. Jesus says of course he does. He remembers. He remembers the issue.
Oh, good. Maybe he remembers the context of it because
Yeah,
I wiped that from my brain.
Hi, good morning, Jesus. What you got?
Well, MJ, it happened when supposedly Roxanne was having a panic attack and she started heavy breathing.
That's God. You get a great memory. That's right.
Hold on, you were having a panic attack
Yeah.
live on the show?
I was simulating a panic attack. That's what it was. See, I wasn't simulating it. No,
wait a
no,
second.
no, no.
Wait a minute. And then
yes, that's right. Thank you.
Your panic attack then sounded like
yes.
you were imitating the scene from When Harry Met
Yes.
Sally with Meg Ryan.
That's right. So it was even more innocent than what we're describing. But you asked me, MJ, to have a panic attack.
and then
you're like, that
right.
doesn't sound like a
Right.
panic attack. That sounds like When
Right.
Harry Met Sally.
Right, so I wasn't some pervert
no.
telling
no.
you to imitate that When Harry Met Sally scene. I asked you to like simulate a panic attack.
Yes.
And your panic attack
sounded like that.
sounded like
Oh, God. Oh,
it's a hell of a panic attack. Whoa.
yes. Yes.
Ah, I
Gosh,
remember
thank you
now.
for being the memory around here.
Hey, Jesus, do you have some kind of photographic memory? Do you
Yeah.
remember like what you wore on October 17th, like 2006?
I think I was suspended from school that day.
Okay, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
Yep. Thank you.
Look at that. No, but seriously,
Yeah.
speaking of that, there are some people that have like these, a lot of times it's like some type of an autistic function where people, I mean, I would imagine this would drive you crazy. People that have like photographic memories, or they have this insanely unnatural memory where, and you've heard about these folks, where they know exactly what they did every single day. It's like they're looking at a calendar entry, you know, looking back years and years, and you wrote notes for every single day. But there are some people that remember that kind of stuff.
You call it memory like an elephant.
No, it's beyond that.
It's really
not really. But some people remember, like, you name a day and they'll tell you exactly what the weather was that day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could take a day from 22 years ago, and it's okay. What was the weather like on April 7th, 2008? Hang on, Andrew. Turn your microphone on. What is that called?
I think it's eidetic.
Well, eidetic has to do with the auditory. Isn't eidetic an auditory function?
I don't know. But I'll tell you what. I wasn't going to head here, but what the hell? Is there anyone listening?
So eidetic is known as photographic memory.
Okay.
It's the ability to recall
Oh, okay.
images, sounds, or events with great accuracy and detail for a short time after seeing or hearing them once.
So it's opposite of what I said. It's visual.
Who's
Yeah.
the redheaded actress?
Amy Adams?
No. There was a redheaded actress.
I mean, that doesn't narrow
that-
it down. There are a lot of
hang on,
redheaded actresses.
hang on.
He's
There was
going somewhere with it.
There was a redheaded actress that I think, like a fairly well-known name, I think had this kind of photographic memory and remembered like everything from every single day from like the bulk of her life.
Was it Mary Lou Henner?
Yes, thank you. Mary Lou Henner. That's right. She had red hair, right?
Sure.
I'm sure she still does. But seriously, just out of curiosity,
Mary Lou Henner is an actress with a rare memory condition called highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM.
that allows her to recall nearly every day of her life. Hey, how about the fact that I remembered that there was this actress that had it? What is that called?
I mean, a decent memory? I mean, you really didn't know many details other than she's a redhead.
It's called I Know a Few Ridiculous Facts. All right, so here's the deal. 2 questions. Does anyone listening have this pagad? Does anyone listening?
I thought you were going to ask, does anyone have memory?
Well,
Okay,
I said 2 things. That yes, I'm
Okay,
doing both.
A double.
Yes, double whammy here. Does anyone, and you don't have to have both, just one or the other. Does anyone listening have this PGAD, this persistent genital arousal disorder where you're having multiple spontaneous, this woman like 25 a day. Does anyone listening have this condition? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And the other question, does anyone have this condition where you remember every freaking day? This, what is it called? Biographical hootenanny? What is it?
It's called highly superior autobiographical memory.
HSAM. That's what it's called. So anyone, do you have any of those conditions? Let's go. Fire up the weird condition phones at 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Does anyone have either the Big O syndrome or the memory where I could whip out a day and you can recall everything from that day? You know, what you were wearing, what you did, what the weather was like.
Is that like Rain Man? Remember, he liked to...
Or if I drop a whole little carton of toothpicks on the floor, can you tell me instantly how many fell? All right, 800-990-10... Judge Wapner?
We're begging for a crank call with this PGAD.
Yeah, we are. If we get a PGAD call,
Judge Wapner. Judge Wapner.
What are you doing?
Judge Wapner.
You had to see the movie.
Judge Wapner. Did you never saw Rain Man? Hold on, Roxanne, you have no idea what I'm doing with Judge Wapner?
I didn't see it.
What? You never saw Rain Man?
No.
I mean, it was a while ago.
It was a long time ago.
Come on.
It was R-rated, too.
Time for Judge Wapner. Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
So you had no idea what I was just doing?
I wasn't allowed to see our movies.
Oh, what? At 30 years old?
No, look at when Rain Man came out. I was not of age, okay?
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
It came out in 1988.
You were. Yes, you were. Yes, you were
no,
of age.
How much? Well, let me write down my age for you. I was not old enough to see Rain Man when it came out.
All right. Hold on. We got phones on hold. Hang on. Fesser, go to the call screener, please.
If we have someone on with PGAD, you know what I'm going to say?
What?
EGADS.
Yeah.
You know when cartoon characters say that? They're surprised.
Derek in Tampa. Hi, Derek. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, how you doing, MJ?
What do you have? Which condition?
I didn't know it was called, but the biographical memory.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I'm getting older and the memory's getting shorter, but I could replay my days constantly. And in my business, I have to do it for conversations, for part numbers, and I don't remember everything. I have to turn it on to remember stuff to do for work.
All right. So how far back can you replay days? How far in the past?
Oh, I can go back months. If I remember the person, I just have to remember the person. It just clicks. And then I'll replay the conversation that I had.
Oh, wow.
That way I can remember what I said, he said, and then I'll transfer basically whatever that is that I need from there.
All right.
I do it on a regular basis.
Interesting. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
What he just described is called, he said he thinks of the person and it clicks. Because my friend used to have this too. And she would say,
Did she have PGAD as well?
No, she didn't have PGAD, but she had autobiographical memory.
She remembered every one of them.
And she said you have like a peg word, like some sort of like
a trigger word?
Trigger word or peg word, and then it just everything populates.
All right, quickly, let me grab Bill in Spring Hill. Bill, Spring Hill, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's... this is Boomhauer.
Yeah, Boomhauer. Yeah, I have a photographic memory. And I believe that you do also because of the things that I hear. I listen to you on the radio, and I said, how in the world does he keep all that in his head?
No, I don't have I just remember certain things, but I do not have a photographic memory.
Yeah, MJ has like game show knowledge.
Turn it on, though. That's what photographic memory is.
Hey, Bill, by the way, I want to thank Bill. Bill, or who we call Boomhauer, Bill gave Max, our engineer, 5 gallons of gasoline when Max could not find any gas in Spring Hill during one of the hurricanes. So thank you, Bill. We appreciate it.
I thought Max was an old guy, and then I seen him, and I see a big Spanish guy, and I said, "Holy moly! I wouldn't want to mess with this guy."
Don't mess with Max, our engineer. He's great. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Did you find the Rain Man clip for Roxanne? Do you have it, Fester?
I think I did.
All right. Roll that. Here, listen, Roxanne.
That's it. Oh, boy. That's it. You blew it. You don't get to see your program. It's finished.
1 minute to Wapner.
1 minute to Wapner. 1 minute to Wapner. 1 minute to Wapner. I had you in there, Ray. You were in there. Defendants, plaintiffs, you had it all. They are in there making legal history, Ray. Legal
1 minute to Wapner.
Oh, boy.
What is going on out here?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I like
It's going to be
I'm very sorry about that. That man right there is my brother. And if he doesn't get to watch People's Court in about 30 seconds, he's going to throw a fit right here in your porch. And you can help me, or you can stand there and watch it happen.
Well, we like to watch cartoons. You think he'd settle for that?
And she sees an identical twin.
It's Judge
Two
Wapner.
he didn't have a shirt on, the other one did, but they sure look alike to me. With the gun on his chest.
Judge Wapner. All right, 7:18 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, you know what happens next. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. If you haven't heard the breaking news by now, we opened the show with it at 6 o'clock. The breaking news is that Trump has won the presidency. Major news outlets, about 5:30, said that Trump has 276 electoral votes, so Trump has won. And then one of the big political stories here in Florida has been decided by the people. And this has been quite a little discussion over the months here on the MJ Morning Show, and there was a failure, a big failure yesterday with the voting. What was it? I'm sure you can figure it out. We'll get to that next on the MJ Morning Show, and a whole lot more, because we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, and that's going to encompass like a minute. So I'll have another, hour and 19 minutes to fill. So stand by. All right, 7. It is 7:27 at the MJ Morning Show, and it starts right now. 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. No music, no commercials, just nonstop entertainment and content. So we had a big day yesterday, obviously. The election, the declaration was made by a bunch of major media outlets, major networks, Associated Press, some of the cable channels. Around 5:30 this morning, so about a half an hour before we started the show, it was declared that Trump has won the presidency. The electoral count vote, or the electoral vote count, looks like 276. So Trump has been declared the winner. Fester's looking at a map right now and looks like it's ticked up to 277. At 5:30, it was like 276. So I don't know where the extra... I don't know where it came from.
You might have won one of those weird Nebraska ones, or one of the weird Maine ones.
That anyway. So I listen, and then some sites are juicing it up even more because there's still some undecideds, or there's still some numbers that are still hanging and just leaning. What is it? Nevada and Arizona, and I think Alaska
and Michigan hasn't.
Yeah, but
colored.
Some are saying 276, some are saying 277, some are saying 280. But Trump will become the 47th president of the United States. All right, so
man, I can tell you, who's not happy about any of this? Grover Cleveland.
Why is that?
Because he was the only other president to be elected to non-consecutive terms.
You're talking about Grover Cleveland?
Yes,
Grover, really? I'm not happy. No.
Grover Cleveland. I think he took a child bride too, like in his second term.
No,
yeah.
Really?
I think she was like really young.
What, like 12?
I think. I think it was like quite the scandal back in like the 1880s.
Grover was a pedophile?
I don't think that. I mean, she might have been like 19 and a half. I think Grover Cleveland had a ridiculously young wife.
But not like 14. Like
no,
18?
No. Of whatever the age was at that time, I think it was legal.
The other really, really big item here in the state of Florida is the legalization of recreational marijuana, and that failed. Yeah, so recreational marijuana, while it did have the majority of votes, it did not hit the super majority. So you're looking, well, wait a sec. Amendment 3, allowing for the recreational use and possession of marijuana for personal use, It had 55.9% of the vote. It has a majority. Yes, it does, but it didn't have the super majority. For amendments to pass in Florida, you have to have a super majority of 60% or greater, and that just didn't happen here in Florida.
Yes. And Grover Cleveland's pissed off about that one as
Yes,
well.
I want to smoke some doobies. Yes.
Hey, our little sample size, our little call segment that we would do, it's pretty close because we had them coming in at like 60%.
Yeah.
So
Well, listen, just below.
just
So
below.
Amendment 3, the recreational use of marijuana, had 55.9% yes and 44.1% no. So majority voted yes in the state, but it just didn't hit 60%. You want to take, let's take a couple of calls on that quickly.
After the election calls?
Yeah. Let's take a couple of, just reaction. Just a reaction here. I'm only going to take a handful of calls.
Okay.
I mean, this is a big day. Obviously, national politics, state politics, just a lot going on here. So I want to grab a couple of calls. Are you distraught? Are you despondent? Or are you ecstatic? So are you despondent that it didn't pass? Or are you ecstatic that it didn't pass? So, both questions.
So you're looking for the real outliers on this.
What?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's ecstatic.
What outliers? I'm just saying that are you upset that recreational marijuana did not pass in Florida, or are you happy it didn't pass? What's outlying there?
I mean, like, upset. I mean, upset's so vague.
Dude,
I voted for it, it didn't pass. Okay, fine.
Listen, it's just a simple question.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people might be passionate about it and be like, yeah, I'm really upset.
I don't know why you're trying to make them.
I could fire the doob up right now anywhere I want.
Yeah.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Grab a couple of calls here. Where are you on the marijuana amendment not passing? Medical marijuana remains intact. And listen, I would guess the bulk of the medical marijuana card holders, they're just getting a doctor to say, yeah, they need it. Oh, but and there's a lot of medical folks. That's their cover for recreational use. I mean, listen, no one's fooled on this. But with recreational, it would make it even more prevalent and prominent. So, look, every single line. So are you happy it did not pass? Or are you angry that it did not pass? Grab a couple of calls here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Kay in St. Petersburg. Hey, Kay, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning, MJ.
Yes, Kay.
I'm so distraught.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, I have my medical card and it's fine. But it's like for the medical card, I have to pay the $75 a year. Plus, I have to pay, the doctor and all that. And medical marijuana is expensive. And to be perfectly honest,
I don't think that the recreational marijuana would have been some little, cheap dollar store item,
This is true. But
I'll tell you, who's really pissed off the handful of companies that were going to make billions. Can you imagine all the owners of those companies that were like spending their money already, and they had already probably put in orders for Gulfstream G650s.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what? It's okay though, because you know what? I can grow, cabbage and.
What are you laughing at, Fess?
I'll take that plane right there. Put a big pot leaf on the tail. You betcha. A pot leaf and a dollar sign and a picture of Ron DeSantis.
What I really wanted to say
Kay.
is, I believe that 4% that we of votes that we didn't get are probably from the felons who can't vote because they have marijuana related charges.
So you think there are 4.1% of the voters that have marijuana felony charges that couldn't vote that would have put this over the top?
Man.
Yes.
4.1%. That high?
Yeah. Sure,
Okay.
why not?
Kay, speaking of high, are you high right now?
I might be. No, I'm not.
All right, Kay, thanks for calling. Bill is in Tarpon Springs. Bill, MJ Morning Show, welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, Bill.
Now, I was kind of confused, too. I mean, I was going to vote no and I was going to vote yes, but I voted yes, and I do have a recreational license. But the problem is...
No. You mean you have a medical license?
Right.
You have a medical
card.
card.
The problem is when you go into these dispensaries, it's favoritism. I'll give you a perfect example.
What do you mean? It's hold on. Explain. What kind of favoritism? You go and you buy some weed.
Well, like, I'll give you a perfect example. AYR, you go in there, there's no military flags, but the LBGTQ flag is right there in your face.
That's a different issue.
That's a personal issue.
Yeah, that's a different issue.
Well, it's not just AYR.
I'll tell you what. Bring in one of the "Don't Tread on Me" flags and see if they put it on the wall for you. All right, Bill. Thanks, man. Let me grab Teresa in Tampa. Teresa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Teresa. Are you happy that medical or recreational marijuana didn't pass, or are you angry? Where are you on it?
I'm ecstatic that it did not pass.
All right, so you're happy it did not pass.
Yes, I can't stand the smell of it. I've never done it, and I'm so happy I don't have to smell it everywhere I go. Bad enough I smell it driving down the road.
Yeah, you still smell it. But Teresa, thanks for the call. Emery's in Tampa. Emery, are you angry that rec didn't pass, or are you happy it didn't pass?
I voted for it, and I don't really care if it passed or not. It's not killing me. But I can tell you this, MJ, the biggest thing that I'm so happy about is Susie Lopez winning.
Yeah, listen, I do believe that Hillsborough County, where I'm a resident, I believe that Hillsborough County is a safer spot. Listen, I just know what law enforcement says. I just know what the Hillsborough County deputy sheriffs that I know, what they have said, and what TPD people that I know, what they've said regarding, Susie Lopez is state attorney for Hillsborough County. So I think that the county will continue to be safer. Thank you, Emery. I recognize that name. Emery called in yesterday and was voting in our just little survey on where people stood. Ashton in Waimama, are you angry it didn't pass, or are you happy it didn't pass?
I'm happy it didn't pass. I voted no, and there's a reason why. So there's hemp-derived THC, and then there's cannabis-derived THC, and that would have put a kibosh on the hemp-derived market.
Ashton, how old are you? You sound relatively young.
No, I'm 41.
Well, still, that's relatively young. Ashton, thanks for the call. Sherry in Trinity. Hey, Andrew, let me just finish up with Andy, Floyd, Sherry, B, Angelica, and then I got to move on here. Cherie. Where am I? What line am I taking? I'll take Cherie in Trinity. Hi, Cherie.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. Where are you on the recreational marijuana deal?
Actually, I'm in the middle. So I did vote for it. It's kind of a different reason than other people voted for it, probably. I'm not a user. But I also looked at it as a tax purpose, to tax the heck out of it, maybe not see our property tax go up, even pennies on the dollar that we spend for taxes for, whatever we go out and buy, tax the company, and bring in more revenue for the state.
One of the things, and listen, I understand what you're saying, and again, a lot of times they claim and they promise a certain amount of money, and sometimes that just doesn't come to fruition to the extent that people were sold on it. But also, one of the things that was prominently mentioned was, it's going to get the illegal weed off the street and the drug deals. No, because
that will never happen.
Yeah, of course not, because the recreational marijuana would be much more expensive. The illegal weed on the street, the prices would have dropped on that, and there still would have been plenty of drug dealing on the.
I'm a nurse.
Yeah,
I'm a nurse, so I see the opioids. I see all that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Weed is the least of our worries compared to what's out there already.
Cherie, thanks for the call. B in St. Pete. B, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, B.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
I'm a medical user in St. Petersburg.
Do you do edibles? I'm sorry.
I voted against the amendment because I'm fully disabled. As a medical user, I've been able to replace several traditional pharmaceuticals with cannabis products. And I voted against it because as the dispensaries start to cater more and more towards recreational users, right, bigger money there than us poor disabled people, the dispensaries, sometimes they discontinue the things that actually work for us,
right.
Medical, So, yeah.
All right, so there's
a different angle.
Thank you, B. There's a med user that was opposed to the rec usage. Thank you, B. All right, three more. I'll grab Andy in Largo. Andy, MJ Morning Show. Welcome. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Thoughts on Amendment 3, recreational marijuana failing?
Yeah, I voted against it, but I'm for it. But I'm not for the bill the way it was written. I thought that they should have included a person to be able to grow 3 of them, and also they shouldn't have to have it isolated to just a certain grower making all the profit.
I gotcha. So you wanted to get high on your own supply.
I don't get high.
Oh.
I don't. But I know what.
I got to be honest. You sound high as a kite right now.
Nah, I don't.
Andy, I'm joking.
He's kidding.
I'm kidding, Andy.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks. All right, Floyd in Sefner. Floyd, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think that if it had passed, that the illegal stuff would still be highly sought after because it's laced with fentanyl.
Well, some is, and that's the danger. And listen, clearly any of the street drugs that people are buying, it's a lot of the stuff is cut with cheap fentanyl, and that has killed people with overdoses. Floyd, thanks for the call. All right, last call on this, and the question, if you're just tuning in, the question is, Amendment 3 failed. Recreational marijuana failed. It had the majority of the votes, but it didn't reach the supermajority of 60% or higher, so that's why it has failed. Last call on this, Angelica. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Angelica.
Good morning, MJ. I'm so ecstatic that it didn't pass.
How old are you, Angelica?
I'm 45 years old.
And why are you ecstatic it did not pass?
Well, I visited Colorado, and I've been also in Vancouver, and it's stink everywhere. I don't want this for Florida. We have kids. We have Disney. This is a family place, and I don't think it belongs here.
All right. Thanks for the call. That's why we grabbed a bunch of calls there. So big news in Florida. I mean, so much money by the growers, the retailers, that the small group that was going to benefit. I mean, billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Definite hold on the private jet now.
Dumped all. Yeah, they're canceling their G650 orders up at Gulfstream up in Georgia.
I'm going to need that refundable deposit back.
Roxanne, do you use the face roller?
You mean like the big pink thing?
Some women use
like the metal one, the little you keep it in your freezer or something.
There are a couple different ones.
There are different ones, but and I'm sure there are some guys that use this. I was just curious. Do you buy into the face roller for warding off wrinkles or smoothing out your skin?
I don't think it's going to make a big difference in the long run, but I do sometimes. If I have an event or something, and I have that big one that you put in the freezer. And then you kind of do it, and you get a little bit of, you can depuff your face to an extent.
You ever making pie? Let me ask you, ever make pie crust and you take the rolling pin and start rolling your face as well? I'm just curious.
Flatten it out, flatten out all the wrinkles.
Listen, the reason why I ask you this is I saw a thread, and the question was to medical professionals, dermatologists, anyone in the medical field. The question was, I want to stay as young looking as possible for as long as possible. Do the face rolling tools actually work, or is it just a racket, a fad, a scam, or whatever?
Great question.
And a bunch of doctors responded.
Okay.
And they said that, for the most part, that they do hear this question quite a bit, but they have a lot of doubts. All the doctors doubted whether the face rollers have any effect whatsoever on your face.
Here's my kind of thought on this. Yeah. If you have time each day to roll your face with that and kind of some relaxation, self-care, me time, you're probably taking good care. You probably have less stress in your life and taking good care of yourself. So you might not have as many wrinkles.
Well,
so I think it's like they go hand in hand because of the lifestyle.
Well, anyway, the bottom line is the doctors are saying the face rollers really have minimal effect. Yeah. So face rolling, and you know what? There's going to be less joint rolling as well because you don't have the recreational marijuana passing in the state. So, all right. What the hell was this St. Pete teenager doing? This girl with a gun on the bus? And shot herself on a St. Pete school bus? What the hell?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, no.
It's terrible enough you bring a gun on a school bus.
Did you see the video of the bus? there was a bullet hole from the inside out. So you had like the peeled away metal siding of the yellow school bus where the bullet exited. Yeah, see if you can find a close-up. Because I saw the video on the news last night. I'm like, oh, my God. This is a middle school student who is in stable condition. A girl, a middle school girl, a 13-year-old, brought a gun on the bus and shot herself. And then the bullet, look at, do you see the bullet hole? Yeah, just roll the video there. And because, let it play because the little play bar is covering it up. I mean, so where did the bullet go? The bullet clearly exited the bus at a high velocity. And you've got the bullet exit where the metal is kind of peeled, showing the bullet exited. But where did the bullet go?
Did it hit the ground or something?
Look at this thing.
It hit a tree?
And just like on CSI Miami, they take like the red little like plastic rod and they stuck it into the bullet hole to, I don't know, they're trying to figure out trajectory or, you know.
The guy went to 7-Eleven and got a Slurpee, just took a straw out and plugged it right into the hole.
Holy crap. This happened yesterday morning about 9:20 a.m., and it happened in St. Pete, right near 49th Street North and 17th Avenue North. About 20 kids were on the bus. They were going to Tyrone Middle School when the shooting occurred. I mean, luckily, you know, she didn't fatally shoot herself. She injured herself, and luckily no other students were injured as well. But can you imagine? You know, this is a bus on the road on 49th, and can you imagine the bullet exits the bus? What if it would have struck a driver in another vehicle passing by?
If it was pointed the other way, it might have hit a student on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw that Yolanda Fernandez, who is with the St. Pete Police Department. Remember Yolanda Fernandez? She used to be on Channel 8.
Yeah.
She used to be a reporter on Channel 8, and then some years ago she became one of the public information officers or, you know, for St. Pete Police. But the bus driver heard the gunshot, and then students started yelling in the back of the bus, "Someone's been shot! Someone's been shot!"
How scary is that?
Yeah. The bus driver then pulled the bus over, saw a St. Pete police officer, and then flagged down the St. Pete police officer. What the hell?
Jeez.
I'm guessing the parents are going to be in trouble on this once the investigation is totally vetted out here. I mean, had the 13-year-old girl get the gun?
Right.
Sounds like this gun was inside the home. Listen, I'm just speculating. It might be she found it. It might be she got it from some friend. I mean, who knows?
And can you imagine being a parent of a child on this bus? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, this could have been a whole different scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, the police are saying they don't know how the girl obtained the gun, how she got it. But clearly a 13-year-old girl on a school bus to Tyrone Middle School. Fess, you go to Tyrone Middle School?
I did not. We fought the people from Tyrone Middle School.
Oh.
They usually won. I went to Madeira Beach Middle School.
Oh, okay. All right, just checking. All right, what a loony story. It is 7:48 at the MJ Morning Show, and we're smack in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. Every morning, about 7:25, we roll an hour and 20 minutes. No music, no commercials. It's just nonstop content. All right, so what are Delta Airlines flight attendants not happy about? Something has been determined, and this has some Delta flight attendants in a little bit of a tizzy, feeling like the airline doesn't have their back. I like Delta. Delta's one of my, favorite airlines. I have the highest frequent flyer status on Delta, so my chance for an upgrade is greater on Delta than any other airline. But Delta is essentially telling flight attendants, you know what? You're just going to have to deal with it. Do you have any idea? What is it? Andrew, yeah, you know, so you're disqualified. You're DQ'd here, man. Don't ruin the thing. All right, so Delta Corporate is telling flight attendants, you know what? Can't stop it. You're just going to have to deal with it. Do you know?
Please,
yes.
Tell me
what?
That they're getting rid of those amazing little cookies and they're telling the flight attendant they're just going to have to deal with it. What are those cookies called? The special
Biscoffs.
Biscoffs. If they're getting rid of the Biscoffs,
And
that's
on Delta, they get a special version.
Yeah.
The Delta logo is baked into the Biscoffs.
Yes, those are so good. They taste better on Delta Biscoffs too. And I bet you the flight attendants get a ton of them just pro bono. And if they're taking those away, that's like taking a big benefit.
It is not the Biscoff cookies on Delta. I was also on another airline. I think it was on Jet. I think JetBlue hands those out as well.
Do they?
But JetBlue doesn't have.
They don't have the logo.
They don't have the logo.
No.
Delta has the logo in the Biscoff. And it's kind of a gingery shortbread, right? Is that? It's got a little bit of a ginger, snappy kind of.
Yeah, but not overdone. Just more of a subtle,
It's
like
a hint.
a hint. Yeah,
like a hint.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Doesn't clobber you.
No.
Just a little hint. That is incorrect, by the way. That's wrong. Not the cookies. Fester, any idea?
I was going to actually guess the cookies also.
Get out.
Okay, no, I'm kidding.
Listen,
Is it a uniform change?
No.
I mean, their attire is very particular.
But I tell you, I don't know if it was Delta. It might have been Delta or it might have been American. One of the airlines, speaking of attire, there was a whole big controversy a couple of years ago where the flight attendants were saying that the new uniforms were making them all itchy. And they were having some flight attendants were having like allergic reactions, and they were like,
I'll tell you right now,
itchy.
No flight attendant getup ever looks comfortable.
I would disagree with that.
It looks like, kind of constricting skirts. They're always wearing pantyhose. I don't know.
All right, so here's the deal.
I like pantyhose.
All right, let me just cut to the chase here. Delta Airlines is telling flight attendants, they can't stop it. You're just going to have to deal with it. It is passengers taking photos of the flight attendants. Yeah, this is interesting. So Delta Airlines has informed flight attendants that it cannot and will not stop passengers from photographing them. Now, there is an exception, but this is an interesting development. A memo recently circulated to Delta flight attendants titled, "Our Approach to Customer Photos and Videos." The memo acknowledges recent instances of unwanted photography on board. For example, anger directed at a flight attendant for wearing a certain politicized pin. Many flight attendants and other employees wish to ban such photography, but argues that their hands are tied.
Yeah, there's no way to enforce that.
We know most customers are well-intended and document their travel experience as a normal and fun part of their journey, and employees do the same when they travel. Delta is a common carrier by air, meaning we're obligated to transport any passenger who pays our fare and agrees to our contract of carriage. Common carriers, aircraft, trains, subways, buses, etc., cannot restrict customers' conduct to the same degree that other businesses can, and we cannot implement or institute rules that are inconsistent with laws and regulations. Acknowledging that some private businesses do prohibit photography, Delta explains those private businesses are permitted to implement such policies because they do not operate under the same regulations as airlines. But there is a limit. It's kind of a broad limit. The memo promises employees that it will back them up when the content captured is not well intended. Like, let me guess, you got a flight attendant maybe bending over to grab a Diet Coke out of the pull-out drawer on the beverage cart, and someone tries to do a
suggestive photo,
or an up the skirt,
Yeah.
Well, what if a flight attendant's trying to, talk sternly to somebody who's not listening or not following the rules, and somebody else is just videotaping it, and you're going to put it on TikTok as this, crazy flight attendant, and it's other bad things you can do with these videos.
Listen, I think that's a good point. So Delta flight attendants, some are saying, they need to have our back more. But listen,
what are you going to do? You can't ban
for
phones.
instance, in public, there's not an expectation of privacy. Some people you can't take a picture. Well, why not? I mean, you're in public. Yeah, you can take whatever picture you want. So
is on a plane in public? I don't know.
No, listen, it has a degree of being in public, but what Delta is saying is that in their environment, if it's a somewhat well-intentioned photo or video that they can't stop people. So that's that's pretty significant to flight attendants that just didn't want their picture taken at all. And we've heard the stories. Oh, it's illegal. It's against federal regulations. That's happened on airplanes, but it's also happened at the gates.
Mm-hmm.
When someone has an altercation, there's some kind of problem at the gate. People love to like whip out their camera and just roll it. I'm a documentarian. I'm gonna document this situation. I'm rolling video. Look at this. Woo! They put cameras in your face and all that crap. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting little angle. Hey, I have a follow-up. If you were listening yesterday, I had Chloe on. And Chloe told the story. This is crazy, man. You wouldn't believe the response I got from this item. Yesterday, I think was it around this time? Or was it maybe a little earlier than this, but, close to this time. We had a story about Chloe's friend. It's a soccer friend of Chloe, who Chloe played club soccer with. And now she's down here in the Tampa Bay area. And Chloe's friend was in an Uber. I'm sorry, a Lyft.
Like a car service.
Yeah.
One of the gig car service.
Yeah, thank you. I think people know. All right, so Chloe's friend was in a Lyft. And bizarrely, the Lyft happened to be a Tesla Cybertruck.
What a weird vehicle to have for that job.
You're 100% right. It was just strange. I mean, those things aren't cheap, aren't they? About $100,000?
Yeah.
The Cybertruck?
Mm-hmm.
I think the cheapest one might be $100,000.
Man, speaking of cheap, have you seen the videos where people are like pulling them apart and showing like the whole thing's held together with like glue?
I tell you what, I've been seeing more and more of them all the time.
Anyway, so Chloe's friend is in a Lyft ride. It's in a Cybertruck, and the Cybertruck driver smashes into another car. Maybe the damn thing's too big. It takes up like a whole lane. It's a big vehicle.
It's a truck. I mean, it's not a semi. It's a.
Listen, I'm just saying that with regular pickup trucks, you don't hear stories about the vehicle's too wide to park in the parking spot at the apartment complex, There have been stories like that. So Chloe's friend's in the Lyft. It's a Cybertruck. The driver smashes into another driver, and immediately after the accident was reported, Chloe's friend starts getting phone calls and contact from Lyft. They're trying to get her to sign a release, a hold harmless, a release. And they were offering her $1,000. Here, take this $1,000 and sign this release that you'll have no further claims. And listen, they're trying to preemptively get in front of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Chloe's friend does have a little bit of soreness from the accident. But here you got Lyft that's trying to just kind of limit their liability. Dangling $1,000 in front of Chloe's friend's face and saying, hey, sign this. And what was remarkable about the story is that they had already called her like the same day as, I think it was last Friday. The accident was last Friday. And Lyft had already phoned her 5 times. 5 freaking times.
Yeah, they want this to go away.
Oh, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They want to lock you in. Hey, they want to, kind of cap it. Oh, man. Let's just get off cheaply here. Let's just give him $1,000 right now, and then you sign all your rights away.
I mean, I can see the mentality to where that's a decent idea. You know what? I'm not hurt. All right, fine. I'll take your $1,000. I'm not going to sue you anyway.
The reason why I'm bringing this back up is there's a follow-up, and I got a direct message. And again, folks, you can contact me anytime you want. My direct messages are open on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, so you can always DM me, Certified MJ Radio, or my email. My private MJ Morning Show email is wide open. I'm the only one that reads it. If you have any commentary, any gossip, you have a story we got to know, you want to give me a hot tip on something that needs to be told. Listen, if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. So my email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. Private email. mj@mjmorningshow.com. So I get this direct message from Kayla. Kayla, thank you. So in response, this is a little after 8 o'clock yesterday, Kayla sends me a DM on Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Hi, MJ. Been listening to you since I was 12.
What?
So glad I still get to listen with my own kids now. Wow. I have a Lyft story for you. Was in an accident and was in the hospital for 3 days in D.C. My Lyft driver got cut off and hit an SUV, which caused him to lose control and drive into a tree head on.
Oh, no.
Sounds like you, Fester, on the YMCA parking lot on Himes.
I shook it off, though.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Listen to this. My driver broke his wrist, and my seatbelt broke my collarbone and fractured my sternum. Holy, that's a hell of an impact.
Yeah, it is.
They must have hit this tree hard.
Oh, no.
Despite the injury, I was obviously glad I was wearing a seatbelt. Oh, listen, if you broke your collarbone and your sternum by wearing a seatbelt, imagine if you were unrestrained.
You broke your whole face.
You probably would have gone through the freaking windshield into the tree.
Yeah.
You'd be a tree hugger. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Tree hugger.
Not the kind you want to be.
No.
That's actually really funny.
So listen to this. She continues. Lyft started calling my phone when I was in the ambulance. Oh, my God. Lyft was already calling her. She's in the back of the ambulance on the way to the hospital. They kept calling every 30 minutes until my husband finally answered and told them to screw off. When he was trying to hang up, they kept asking how I was, if I was injured. It was relentless. We hired an attorney immediately and advised us to ignore the phone calls. After months of litigation, we reached a settlement of $6.4 million. No, I'm kidding. No, it doesn't say that. No,
I'll ignore every call for that.
I'll take a broken sternum and collarbone for $6.4 million.
I'm going to break both my collarbones.
Yeah, if somebody wants to bring a cashier's check down here now and a sledgehammer to break my sternum and collarbone, come
on.
Yeah, come on down.
So it wasn't 6 point. How much was the settlement?
No, it doesn't say.
Oh,
it
come
says,
on.
Well,
does she leave a number? Call her. We got to know how much.
Nah, I don't have a number. But she said that they did reach a settlement. The settlement was minimal, but glad I didn't sign anything from them or incriminate myself.
All right, when she says minimal, I automatically think like 10 or 15 grand.
Yeah, that's what you would think.
Listen, they probably would offer her originally, like Chloe's friend, they were going to offer probably $1,000, kind of go away nuisance money. And some people are like, oh my God, $1,000. But what if you've got issues that do crop up later? You've signed your rights away. Don't sign Jack Schnitt. Don't sign anything. By the way, that's my uncle.
It is. It's a real person.
It really is Jack Schnitt. I know Jack Schnitt.
So
I do. I really do.
You got to figure, like Uber and Lyft, they've got to have these departments that are just solely insurance claim avoidance.
Handling car crashes every day.
Just burning phones.
Listen, how many Ubers or Lyfts are in a car accident of varying degrees on a daily basis in this country? I bet you there are dozens a day.
Yeah.
Between the rideshare services.
I'm sure.
Around the country, sure. Maybe a dozen. That sounds like I don't know. But I bet you there's a whole department of professionals who offer money right away to make things go away.
Of course. Fixers.
I thought that was somewhat interesting. Actually, I thought that was very interesting.
So the craziest part of that story that stuck out to my wife was the Cybertruck driver trying to talk Chloe's friend into taking the blame for the accident.
Oh, that's
that was
right.
hysterical.
That was the part that really, she goes, and
the reason, because she was talking to me.
Yeah, the audacity of the driver to say, okay, when the cops get here, just say you were bothering me. I'm like, screw you, Lyft guy.
That came out of the conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
That the Lyft driver tried to get Chloe's friend to take the blame.
Do me a solid.
Yes, officer, I'm the passenger.
Yeah, my fault.
I was talking to the driver, and what was the story that the friend warned the driver you're gonna get into a crash?
I guess
she was like, "Look, you're
driving a little erratically," and I guess she pointed it out a couple times.
Yeah, and then what is it like? You can't pat your head and rub your tummy. Oh, officer, I can't talk and drive at the same time. It's too much.
Very difficult for me, sir.
I gotta multitask. Come on.
Speaking of listeners contacting me, this is unbelievable. I've not seen this. A listener sent me a picture and an email regarding something they spotted at Lowe's.
All right.
Okay, you're amused? What is it?
Yeah, I like Lowe's. Yeah, what do they find at Lowe's?
Yeah, this is great. I love it. Now, I'm talking about Lowe's. I'm not talking about Home Depot. I'm talking about Lowe's. Yep, nope. I said not Home Depot. This is Lowe's. You know what? Lowe's needs a very recognizable music theme like Home Depot.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is also at Home Depot, but this listener sent me an email. Listen to this. Hey, MJ, at Lowe's, they have an area that's dedicated to frying turkeys for Thanksgiving. It's by the grills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably not good if it's over by the... All right, so I get this email. At Lowe's, they have this area dedicated to frying turkeys for Thanksgiving. It's by the grills. Yeah, probably better off there than by the toilets. But anyway, they're selling... Listen to this. They're selling bacon grease for $55 to fry your turkey.
All right.
By the way, he says, if you mention this on the air, can I get a shout out for my company? The epoxy and paver sealing guy.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, hello to the epoxy and paver sealing guy. If you have pavers at your house, we clean and sand the joints. Anyway, hey, I might have a job for him.
And then he fills it in with bacon grease.
No, but he sends me a picture. I'm going to hold this up to MJTV right now. This is, how big is this bucket? This is a massive bucket.
Hold on, is it the Bacon Up?
It is. It's called Bacon Up, but that is a small little container, dude. They have a giant bucket at Lowe's. Go to the Lowe's website.
I am. I'm at
Lowe's.com
right now.
All right. Well, that little thing there, that's small.
So this bacon grease is used like as a rub on the outside to make like your spices stick.
That's a 14-ounce little tub. The size of this thing that he got at Lowe's, this is like 21 pounds. I'm like, what? Hang on, let me zoom in on the label. 21.85 pounds. This is a 21-pound bucket of bacon fat. I got a question.
It sounds delicious.
Hang on. I got a question. Who the hell is frying all this bacon? They're able to collect the bacon fat.
Yeah, who's doing it?
All right, now,
it's got to be an industrial
listen,
cook place.
First of all, I'm not an expert on this. I don't know the real answer. I'm guessing that it's not like strips of bacon that they're frying and then pouring the hot bacon grease into a bucket and letting it, cool down into a lard. I'm guessing
that rendered pork would be bacon grease.
Yeah, I'm guessing that Bacon Up Company, they're buying from like pork producers. I'm guessing they're buying train car loads of pig fat.
Mm-hmm.
Once they cut through the ribs, the pork loins, the pork chops.
Yeah, a company like Smithfield, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of cooked meats.
Oh, yeah.
They must have a ton of fat.
From
grease.
all of the pigs they process, there must be tons of just chunks of pig fat. So I'm guessing that this Bacon Up Company, they're buying it and then they're cooking it down, and then that's how they're getting their. But listen,
I tell you what, I'm looking at the container. It says John Gordon's Bacon Up, and it just says bacon grease.
Bacon Up.
Rendered bacon
You know
fat.
what? I want to bacon up my Cheerios. I'm going to pour some bacon fat on my Cheerios. You know what? My next slice of cherry pie, I want to bacon that up.
It's triple filtered, so it's just plain white, almost, looks like a lard.
You know what?
I want to bake it up?
What do you want to bacon up?
I want to bacon up a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? It would stay liquidy in the hot cup of coffee.
It would.
You know what? Nothing like, my favorite yogurt brand. I love Brown Cow.
Oh, yeah.
I love cherry vanilla Brown Cow yogurt, which again, why does Publix refuse to carry Brown Cow? What is up?
Yeah.
Why do I have to go to, and listen, I have no problem. Whole Foods, Sprouts, Rollin' Oats. All three, they have Brown Cow. Best yogurt out there. And the black, the cherry vanilla. The cherry vanilla is my favorite. You know what? I want to bacon up my yogurt. Pour some bacon fat in my yogurt.
I gotta anytime you talk dairy, MJ, I can't give you enough accolades. Tempty.
Oh.
You're right about that.
Listen.
Yeah.
I will not steer you wrong.
No.
Folks, Publix does have this.
They do. I was thinking, well, thank goodness they have TMT.
I think Publix is the only store that has this. And folks, if you're buying cream cheese and you're buying, like Kraft Philadelphia or whatever, I mean, stop. Stop it now. If you like cream cheese on a bagel or whatever you need, Temp Tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. It's a little round container. It's a pink and white label. Publix has it. Temp Tea. TEMP TEE. Temp Tea. This is the best whipped cream cheese. And Roxanne is shaking her head.
Texture, flavor. It's buttery. It's creamy.
I talked about it on the show.
Different.
And you followed my advice. And now you're a believer.
Yeah, we did a blindfold taste test in my household. We did like 4 different brands and wore blindfolds. And this was the overwhelming winner.
Yeah, folks, next time you're at Publix, buy Temp Tea. And sometimes they do BOGOs on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which you get buy one, get one. Or they'll do, a good chunk off. So sometimes they're on sale. But I think typically it's like $4.59 a container.
All right.
But, hey, Publix.
Yes.
I want you to note the power of radio. Publix, I want you to note the power of the MJ Morning Show. Because I've heard that every time I mention that Publix has this amazing cream cheese called Temp Tea in the pink and white plastic container, that there's a run on it. So again, Publix, you will note the power of the MJ Morning Show, that I'm telling all of my listeners to go buy Temp Tea at Publix cream cheese. Notice that there's going to be a nice little run on Temp Tea over the next couple of days. Trust me. And Roxanne, you're saying that this ain't no lie.
No.
You're saying that this is bona fide, real deal, that my recommendation that your family buy Temp Tea cream cheese has changed your life.
I'm going to say that. I put it to the test. I said, how good is this Temp Tea? And now I look at it in my fridge and it just gives me a happy feeling.
Kids are using it as sunscreen now.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Better than zinc.
Yeah.
Better than any of these.
Smear
Copper
the white
tone, forget it.
If you're a lifeguard, smear this on your nose instead of zinc. It's very tasty as well. It's snack time. You got a cracker, just dip it on your nose and that's delicious. So bacon up a 21-pound bucket of bacon fat at Lowe's. Fester,
Yes.
You're telling me in your condition you never heard of bacon up?
I've never heard of the product, but you know what it is? People with peanut allergies probably can't use peanut
oil.
That's
a good point.
So this has no peanut in it. It has no carbs, or so it serves a different. It's a fat. It serves a different purpose.
Yeah, you know what? I got to get a new fryer kit.
Let's go to Lowe's.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to order it online. Well, because I think I'm going to step up my fryer game.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I mentioned this before. Our turkey fryer took on a little bit of water damage with the garage flooding we had during Helene. And my propane stand, the black propane stand, that got a little rusted. And, I had a cheaper turkey fryer kit. And that's another thing. Once you fry a turkey properly in peanut oil, 100%, don't skimp. I know peanut oil is expensive, but do not skimp. Don't use the half and half. Don't use the partial. No, 100% peanut oil. It's going to be expensive. It's like, $46 for 3 gallons at Walmart. But listen, splurge on it. Do it. But I think I'm going to step up the game this year. And I better hurry before they sell out. But, I'm going to do it today. I want to order one of the higher quality stainless steel ones, because the old turkey fryer, it was, that thin aluminum pot.
Yeah.
And they'll get little pinholes from time to time. Anyway, I'm stepping up the game, and I think I'm going to buy an all stainless steel Bayou Classic. I think has among the highest ratings. So I think I'm going to step it up. I better do that quickly. And then, because nothing beats a 100% peanut oil fried turkey. But you got to be careful. Watch some videos. Don't splatter and spill it on yourself. Don't burn the house to the ground.
If you look hard enough, there's one video on YouTube to show you exactly how not to do it.
Yeah.
Starring me.
Starring Fester. And
you.
Yeah,
you made an appearance.
I might be in that thing as well.
Top billing.
Anyway, bake it up! Instead of batter up, you got to say bacon up.
Do you save your bacon? If you cook bacon at the house, do you save the grease?
No.
Oh.
And you never pour it down your drain.
No.
Right.
You knew that, right, Rob?
Of course.
Never pour your bacon fat down the drain because it will cool and it will block your pipes like Uncle Dave's arteries.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Big fat Uncle Dave. With 99% blockage.
Rest in peace, Uncle Dave.
Don't. Whatever you do not do it. Anyway, thank you to our who sent this to me? The paver sealing guy. Thank you, paver sealing guy, for setting. That's
a pretty funny product.
Great observation. Baking up a 21-pound bucket of bacon.
It doesn't taste like bacon. It just tastes like grease.
Are you ready for the creepiest story of the day?
Oh yeah. We've had some creepy ones already.
Oh, this is a creepy story. This is creepatola Khomeini right here. This woman says she's a mom to 8 dolls, and she breastfeeds them. What?
Oh my!
What?
Did we talk about this particular woman or a different woman? 'Cause
I don't.
It sounds familiar to me.
Listen, I don't. I remember we've done some creepy stories about. We you know what? I know what you're thinking.
Okay, what am I thinking
We
about?
did a story about a woman that takes her baby doll everywhere.
To the park.
Yes. There was a grown woman that has a baby doll, and she takes it everywhere, like goes shopping and has the baby doll in a stroller. Now, you've seen the little girls that are 5, 6 years old, and they've got their baby doll. Some supermarkets have the little kitty cart, the little teeny, little bitty. I mean, you've seen that. But we previously on the MJ Morning Show, we did a story about a woman that took this doll. This is a different story. This woman has 8 dolls, and she breastfeeds them.
Okay.
Oh, my God. This is like American Girl looking. I'll hold this up to MJTV. And there's a picture of the woman and her whole collection of dolls. I'm holding this up to MJTV. And you can always watch MJTV. If you go to mjmorningshow.com, and on the top nav bar, you'll see it says MJTV. Click on that. And when we're live from 6 to 10, you can just click on the little graphic. It says watch us live. Or all of our old shows. Every single show, you can go back and watch the video of the show of us here in the studio. But this one, Kelly White is her name, 28 years old. And she's an adoptive mom of 8 dolls. And they fall under that category of the reborn. Reborn dolls.
All right. So they're very lifelike?
Yes.
She breastfeeds them, makes them breakfast, and takes the. Can I recommend Bake It Up?
You know what?
And then takes them 8 of them. She takes 8 dolls everywhere. What does she have, a Dodge Caravan?
She has a mental issue.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean, that's what she has.
Yeah.
She has a disorder in her head.
She's from Long Island.
Okay.
From New York.
A lot of women from Long Island have mental issues.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, these dolls really do look very, very real.
Over the last year, Kelly has grown her collection to 8, and she spent about $2,000 on her dolls.
Okay.
She used to breastfeed her younger dolls, but now she bottle feeds them, making milk from flour and water.
Does she get pissed when they don't
listen.
Eat it?
Fester.
Yeah.
This woman's got a screw loose, right?
Yeah, she's got something wrong.
Something's going on here. I mean, that's creepy. Can you imagine, Roxanne, you're a grown woman and you're holding this plastic doll up to your boob?
No, does she breastfeed in public?
Yeah, pulls a blanket right over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's some women do.
One can only hope.
Yeah, now she's feeding some of them with bottles.
All right, I'm looking at pictures of these dolls on the playground.
Oh, yeah. She brings the dolls to the playground and poses them on the playground equipment.
Because kids love playgrounds. Here they are at a relatively nice-looking restaurant.
Oh, look at that.
There they all are on the couch.
Does she get angry if the waitress doesn't talk to the dolls? Like if the server's at the rest. So there are pictures of her literally at a restaurant, and she's got her dolls sitting at a table at a restaurant. Also, I mean, that's got to tick off the staff. If you're like one person dining, you're going to use an 8-top or a 6-top? For your dolls?
Yeah, we'll have.
And you've got one. Or is she? What if she's ordering food for all the dolls? And is she like smushing the peas and stuff into the dolls' faces?
Yeah, we'll start with 8 waters, please. What do you do?
I don't know. Can you imagine if you're what if you're a manager of a restaurant? So this woman comes in with 8 freaking dolls and she wants to take up a big table.
What if you're hosting Thanksgiving in her family and you know she's coming over with her 8 dolls and you have to set the whole table, do all those extra place settings?
No. What if you're a kid who's having Thanksgiving with her and you have to sit at the kid table with the dolls?
Yeah.
Just no conversation at all.
Yeah, speaking of Thanksgiving, so it's come to my attention we're having 12 people at our house. I thought it was just going to be Chloe, Julian home from school, myself, and Michelle. I thought it was going to be a nice little cozy little 4-pack.
Do you know the other 8?
No, all strangers.
Really nice of you to just open up the house.
The recent parolees. No.
Who else is Michelle inviting?
So it's Michelle's mom and common law, father-in-law, I guess.
Do you give them a hard time when they're at the table? Like, when are you guys getting married? Come on, when are you gonna?
They're not. They've been together for like 15 years. They're really like a married couple, but they never got married.
And he's like, why buy the cow?
Oh, great! Thank you. That's what I want to think about.
Michelle's mother,
that's what,
getting Michelle's mother's milk for free.
So then I think Chloe invited like
a friend like that anymore.
A friend of Chloe's that she had up at college or up in New York is down here in Tampa now and invited the friend.
Not the girl in the car accident.
No, I think it's a different one. Invited a friend who's then going to bring her boyfriend. So I'm like, who the hell's this guy? So I got the friend and now I got the boyfriend. So that's 4, and then I don't know. Then we're 4, so that's 8, and then there's another 4.
Is Chet coming?
Oh, that's right. Chet.
That's
right.
Chet's there.
Yeah, Chet. So Chloe's boyfriend's going to be there, Chet. So that means that there's going to be 3 more.
Your son's going to be in town.
I already mentioned that.
Yeah,
is he bringing a lady? He has a lady friend.
No. She's not. She's not.
She hasn't made the cut yet.
No. She's going to be with her family in Texas. Anyway, so I don't know who. There are going to be people there. I don't even know who the hell they are. So there are 3 more.
So Chloe's 3rd wheel is bringing a 4th wheel? That's keep your boyfriend at home.
I guess so.
All right.
And I got to foot the bill for all this crap.
No kidding.
I mean, things are tight these days. I mean, come on.
Not easy.
Yeah, really. Come on. Give me a break. All right. Tom Brady. Lot of Tom Brady stuff lately. This is interesting. Tom Brady has shared a cryptic message about a man who comes short again and again. What? So this is interesting because this is during the whole Gisele Bündchen pregnancy announcement where Gisele has finally confirmed that she's expecting a baby with the new boyfriend, the Taekwondo? I'm sorry, Jiu-Jitsu. Joaquim.
Something like that.
Joaquim is his name. So Tom Brady shares this cryptic message on his Instagram story about falling short again and again. What does this mean?
Guys, he's not talking about his personal life.
He's
talking about his commentating career because he's getting so much criticism.
You talking about this picture right here?
Yeah, that's
the man in the arena, isn't it? That's the Theodore Roosevelt piece.
Yeah, it's the Theodore Roosevelt thing.
It's not the critic that counts.
Yes, yes. But what does it mean?
He's getting so much criticism in his work life.
I don't know.
But Tom cares more about work than he does about personal. That's why they got divorced.
I don't know.
He's used this as his mantra for years.
But some people are suggesting that it is a response, that it's kind of a cryptic response to the whole Gisele, his ex-wife, and the mother of 2 of his kids. It's some kind of a cryptic response to that.
I think it's a cryptic response to Skip Bayless, who called him Daniel Jones yesterday.
Maybe so. Anyway, and then one other Tom Brady thing. He is not dating right now. How about that?
He's too busy with work.
But come on, he's got to be hooking up. So he's not dating, but you're telling me he's on the road and he's in a hotel or, he's...
concierge.
Some attractive woman says, "Oh, hi, Tom. Can I?" You don't think Tom's hooking up a little bit on the side? You think Tom Brady is celibate right now?
Listen,
Is he restraining himself?
Tom's taking.
Has he taken the pledge?
Yes. Yes, he has.
Yeah. So Tom Brady is not dating. Allegedly, he's focusing on the kids and work. And I will tell you that Tom has gotten better. You know, first week when he was commentating, first week of the NFL, I mean, he's a little rough, but he has gotten better.
Yeah, it's not a natural skill set.
But let me tell you what Tom does. His voice, I mean, for a big dude, Tom is like, what, 6'4"?
Yeah, he's tall.
You know, for a tall dude, for a guy that, you know, had a very large sports stature, obviously, you know, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And when you listen to, he's got a very kind of a light, he's got kind of a light voice. You know, he doesn't have a, you know what? It lacks presence. He doesn't have a presence, and it's very detectable when you have the play-by-play guy who's play-by-play with Tom Brady.
Pat Summerall.
So no, it's not.
It's Kevin. Is it Kevin Burkhardt?
Is that who it is? But you've got the play-by-play guy.
It's Al Michaels.
No, it's not. Al Michaels does Amazon now.
Does he? I don't
Yeah.
even know.
So you got the play-by-play guy, and he's got a very, you know, professional, broadcasty kind of sounding voice with a good presence.
And then they bring in Tom, like, yeah, look at the receiver was totally open
you know what?
there, but he missed him.
Dude, that's kind of what it's like. It's what I'm pointing out here. But I'll tell you, he has gotten better. There's no doubt about it. He has improved.
You give old Tommy a little bit of time, he'll be the best there was.
All right, this is going to be controversial. I've got a question. What do you think of a transgender Hooters waitress? So you've got a guy who has transgendered to a girl, and they want to be a Hooters waitress.
Okay.
I do not have a picture of the individual. But
Then-
listen, there are some transgenders that will fool people, okay? There are some men that then transgender to a woman, and, well, you know, it's kind of like a little crying game surprise, you know? But there are some cases where it's you can't tell, or it takes a really hard stare to tell. But then, and listen, I don't want to get complaints. I don't want to get picketed. I don't want to be canceled.
So did the Hooters hire this individual?
No. Then the transgender individual is now suing Hooters. This is up in New York. But, you know.
Well, did they not hire them for that reason? Or maybe it's another reason. They don't have to hire everybody who applies.
Hang on. But I'm just trying to be honest here. You've got, again, some transgender individuals that it's like, wow. I mean, you sometimes can't tell. But then, and this is where it gets touchy. I'm not being insensitive here, but I've seen some transgender individuals where it's like, oh my God, you're not pulling that off.
Look,
you know, not even close. So here's the deal: an upstate New York transgender woman is suing Hooters for repeatedly refusing to hire her. Yeah, the restaurant claims that she was tossed for inappropriate behavior.
So wait, she was, what do you mean tossed for inappropriate behavior?
Yeah, before she had transitioned. So Brandy Livingston told News 10, was that like Buffalo or Rochester?
So like Brandy was Brian, and then Brian was like a cook.
Yeah.
Brandy was Randy.
Whatever. Okay, that would actually make more sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Randy and Brian.
I have no idea.
But so before this individual transitioned, they worked at Hooters and was released from their job for one reason or another.
Right.
And then they're like, hey, you know what? Let's nip tuck and plump up and do this. And
let me give you the facts here.
All right.
So Brandy applied 3 times to work as a Hooters waitress, you know, the whole tight top and the little short Hooters shorts and everything. And apparently made a transition, right? Applied 3 times after the transition. They said no. They would use male pronouns. They would refer to me as a he. Livingston only recently transitioned to a female.
Tell you what, picked a good name. Brandy, you're a fine girl. It's kind of in the name.
Yep. I overheard one of the servers after I left the restroom talking to one of the managers and said, "Why are you allowing him in the women's restroom?" But, I mean, should Hooters, should you be obligated if somebody makes a transition, they were a male and now they're saying they're a female now, should you be obligated to have to hire them? Well, I mean, what if it doesn't?
What makes this even more puzzling is that this individual was fired before. So I think that in and of itself would, I mean, if you're fired from a particular company,
it looks like looks like they're looking for a lawsuit by antagonizing Hooters by keep going back for a job.
You're not high on the list to be rehired. Like, you're not going to go to the place that fired you to try to get hired again necessarily.
I've been fired from every job I've ever had.
And would you go back to those jobs and ask for your job?
Yeah, I mean, I've never held a job at all where I left on my own terms. I've been fired from every one of them.
A hiring manager didn't even care if I had a suitable experience, told Channel 10. I guess it's Albany.
They're already on the non-hire list for I don't know.
Oh, we don't care about experience. We hire on the basis of personality, and there's an image that needs to be met.
So Hooter waitresses are not employees in the common sense like that. They are entertainers. So they are promoting an experience, and they don't exactly call them waitresses. They call them entertainers to add to their unique customer interaction
experience. All right. So I'm looking at a picture of Brandy now. And I'm sorry, but Brandy as a Hooters wait would be a distraction, okay?
You found a picture. You found a photo. Okay.
You want to see a picture?
Yes, please.
All right. Here, take a look at this. Fester, take a look past it to Roxanne. That's Brandy wants to put on a tight Hooters top and Hooters pants.
Well, that's the thing is I need the
Can I get your reaction, please, Roxanne?
I'm going to have to reserve my reaction and withhold my reaction until I see Brandy in the proper attire.
Why do you just look at Brandy as is? And is that what you'd expect as a Hooters server?
All right,
no, let's just keep going.
So, like, I'm on Sam's Club's list of people to never be employed there again
because the tire incident.
You're on the Sam's Club do not hire list.
I've been a Sam's Club customer now for 20 some odd years. I love the place.
Oh, so they didn't ban you as a customer?
No, they'll take my money every month, every year.
If you don't know,
but I'm on their list. You put in my information. It'll do not hire. Do not hire. Do not hire.
Right.
I can't work at Walmart. I can't work at Sam's Club. I can't work at probably not any subsidiary companies. I couldn't work in the warehouse.
But what if you went back as Dominici?
That's the next thing. Yeah. If I come back, we're like, hey, boss. It's a new me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
So Fester rammed an extended forklift into one of the sprinkler heads and caused a big flood at Sam's Club.
Thousands and thousands.
Then they moved you to the tire department.
They should have fired me then.
Did they train you? Because then Fester didn't tighten the lug nuts on a woman's car and her tire flew off on Park Boulevard. Where was it?
It was Park Boulevard.
On Park Boulevard?
I worked at the Sam's Club on Belcher and Park Boulevard, and they thought it would be good to put me in the tire department, and manual labor isn't my thing.
Fester extends a forklift with a pallet or something, and you smacked into a sprinkler head. You flood the whole damn store. So then they don't fire you. They move you to the tire department. How quickly after you caused the flood in the store by hitting a fire sprinkler head, how soon after that did you not tighten the lug nuts on the woman's car and she's driving out and her tire flies off?
Like 8 weeks. I mean, like people were still talking about the there was still damage from the first thing. Did you know those water lines are pressurized?
Duh.
Yeah, duh. I found out the hard way too. Anyway.
Of course there's water, because if there's heat, which activates the little boiler device, little glass tube, that's what launches the sprinkler. Of course it's pressurized. Of course there's water in the pipes. Tell you what, you want to see something nasty? That water, which pretty much is in the pipes forever, you ought to take a look at that water.
Yeah, it's been sitting there a minute.
That's some nasty water when it does come out of there. I'll tell you that right now. All right, so Fester on the the do not hire list.
Ever. I mean, it's a big company. One of the largest. Is it the largest employer in the nation? Walmart?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Why don't you look it up?
Probably one of the top 10.
Why don't you look it up?
I can never work there.
I'd like to know. Tell me if that's true. Is that an actual fact? Is Walmart the largest employer in the country? Hurry up. Who's the largest employer in the country? Let me know who it is. Hurry up. I got a lot of stuff to do here. Come on, let's go.
Yes, Walmart is the largest employer in the United States.
How many employees?
2.1 million.
Are you serious?
Walmart has the most employees in the United States with around 2.1 million employees worldwide in 2023.
Wow, that's a large 2.1 million employees.
3/4 of that work in the United States.
Of which you're ineligible to become.
All of them. There are 4,700 Walmart stores in the U.S., including 3,500 supercenters. I can't work in any of them, ever.
That's funny. That's hysterical.
I don't see why a surgical procedure and new identity would change that fact.
Anybody know what micro cheating is?
When you have a micro, you know what, and you cheat.
I don't know. What is a Roxanne? I don't know what you're saying. What is a micro? You know what? Can you elaborate, please?
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say
No,
it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, you can't leave me hanging. What is a micro? You know what?
You can't leave them hanging, especially with a micro.
Yeah, not much of a hang there, is there?
No hang at all.
It's like a little hanging Chad. What's a micro? You know what?
I don't know. You said micro.
What?
You said cheating. There's only one thing that comes to my mind
All right.
when the syllables micro are thrown out, and it's not microscope.
Okay.
Not microdosing.
No, it's not microdosing.
Okay, so micro cheating, is it either A, on a partner, or B, on a diet?
No, it's a partner. So,
okay, so is micro cheating like, just being kind of friendly and flirty with other people?
I'm going to tell you right now. So micro cheating.
Because if that's the case, Roxanne and I are getting a divorce.
Micro cheating is a thing. And do you recognize or are you aware of the signs that your partner may be micro cheating?
Am I micro cheating every time I take my wife to a diner and I call the waitress darling?
Let me give you the details. So micro cheating is a term. It's a descriptor. And it really encompasses actions, and they can be very minor actions, subtle actions, or types of behavior. You're not outright cheating. So you're not having an affair. You're not having a relationship. Although we've talked about this, is emotional cheating a thing?
Yeah. So do these kind of like overlap? You
know what? There's some similarity here, but a partner can feel betrayed with some of these micro cheating situations. So the question is, are you guilty of any of these? So what are the examples of micro cheating? There are a number of things on the list. Here are some examples. Having a dating app profile.
Yeah, I think that's more of a macro cheating.
That's not micro.
That's not micro. That's like I'm actively trying to find someone else.
No. Well, hold on.
I'm taking legitimate steps to physically hook up with people besides you.
No. Stop. Let me explain. Don't jump to conclusions.
All right.
So, maintaining a dating app profile, it could be that you still have the app and the profile after you've become attached or you've begun a relationship. So prior, maybe you're dating, you've got profiles, you've got dating apps, and if you maintain that app once you've actually settled down, even if you're not looking for a new relationship, the fact that you still have the dating app, you still have the profile. So this leads to a whole different question. If you're on dating apps and you're on the dating scene and you're trying to meet people, you finally meet somebody, at what point do you erase your profile? Or let's say, you get engaged, maybe you get married. At what let's say you're dating heavily, you're not even engaged. At what point, and this is an interesting question.
Like the 5th or 6th date, there's something here. You're like, hey, let's delete our profiles.
At what point, do you have a profile delete party? Or at what point do you get rid of the dating app and erase your profile, close the account?
Do you do it together?
I don't
know. I've never been,
Hey, I just finished my bridal registry. It's up. It's live. I ought to delete my dating profile now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's
a long time.
Maybe that's a good benchmark there. So micro cheating can include still maintaining a dating app and profile. Another form of micro cheating is having communications with an ex. Now, that's pretty much a no-no. I mean, right?
What if you make your partner aware of it?
I mean,
but why would you need to have? Because
what if you're just a mature human being and you?
Other than if you, let's say, have kids together, whether it's a wife or a fiance or a girlfriend that you, had a kid with, I can see where you need to maintain certain communication there. But
if you're just dating and it's over,
you probably shouldn't be in a new relationship and still maintain some communication with the ex. So that falls under potential micro cheating as well.
Well, let me just ask you guys this question.
Yep.
What if you dated someone, then you broke up, and then you became friends, and you were friends for a long period of time, and then you start dating someone new? Are you not supposed to be friends with that person who you used to, you know what I mean? Because
I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm a bridge burner.
Here's another form of micro cheating, and that is like a work husband or a work wife. So you build this emotional relationship with.
What if it's a volatile emotional relationship?
I mean, with highs and lows, and sometimes really,
disdain
really
and
love and disdain,
just all the gamut,
and disgust and just odd affection. A lot goes on this side of the counter, by the way.
Listen, I'm just saying that another thing to add to the list of these micro cheating possibilities is a relationship at work. And listen, sometimes you might go to lunch or dinner with a colleague, and is that a form of cheating to a certain extent? Listen, if you go one-on-one, is that different than if you do a group lunch?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think a lot of people are mentally able to have a meal with somebody without jumping bones. There's a line to be crossed.
Online interactions, that's another form. If you're having any type of social media interactions, these days, like the online chat stuff, those AOL days are over, right? I mean, I don't.
Chats are over.
Yeah. But social media these days and direct messages,
DMs,
DMs, etc.
I have a friend. His wife jumped his ass because he liked something on Instagram.
Oh wow, really?
It was like another person who he works with was on a boat, and he liked it and put the heart on it, and she gave him nothing but grief.
So if you micro cheat, I don't need to know. I don't think we need to go over this list. But if you are micro cheating, the impacts could have obviously issues with relationship trust.
So micro penis wasn't on the list. Wasn't on the list. What the heck?
You were way off, Rox.
Oh, look at that comedic timing here, folks. Look at that. So are you a micro cheater? Did anything on this list tick any boxes in your life? That is the question. I thought this was funny. When I heard this, I laughed out loud. I don't know if it's true. I mean, to me, this kind of reeks of a phony story. So you know that North Korea sent troops to join the Russians, right? In the fight against Ukraine.
I didn't know North Koreans were on the front.
Come on, you missed this news? So a month ago, 2 months ago,
okay,
it was a report.
Sorry.
It was a report that Kim Jong-un was sending North Korean troops to join Russians in the fight against Ukraine.
Okay.
All right. A story's emerged that the North Korean soldiers that were sent to fight with the Russians, that they've had internet access for the first time in their life, and they're now all hooked on porn.
Are you kidding me?
No. Come on, is this real? Is this a real story? North Korean military men who joined the war front in Ukraine on behalf of Russia have unfettered access now to the internet for the very first time, and they're watching tons of porn. This is according to a report that a Pentagon official says they're investigating, but they're unable to confirm. You're probably unable to confirm it because it's probably a load of crap.
You know what? I don't know that that's the case. I mean, a lot of these soldiers carry cell phones with internet connections on them into the field. You know, they probably handed them to all the North Korean soldiers for communication purposes.
I don't know if I believe this. Hey, and one quick question here, and maybe you can help out. So I've got a good friend of mine that contacted me yesterday, and the good friend said, "Hey, they're having an event, and they need an event DJ." I don't know any event DJs.
Are you kidding me? I'll give you.
Oh, do you know someone?
Of course I do.
Are you talking like a music playing DJ?
Yeah, yeah. So I
mean,
hold on.
Hello.
Who do you know?
Pat George.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, hold on. What's the event?
I mean, I think it's a quinceañera. Okay. No, I don't know.
I mean, what's the event? I mean, everybody from,
Yeah, so I need. So a friend of mine says, "Hey, they're having an event, and they need a music DJ for the event." So I'm like, I'll poke around, I'll ask. I don't know anything off the top. And you know what's over my career, the people that think that I'm available to DJ a party because I do a radio show. I mean, that's what am I, a clown?
Well,
I mean,
you're on the radio. What kind of music do you play?
I mean, come on. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. I'll go to your event and I'll talk for 4 hours straight. How about that?
All right,
Warren's in the news.
Welcome to everybody. Did you guys hear about this bus driver out of Schenectady? Oh, she was crazy. Look at the photo I have for everybody.
Let's talk about micro penis. All right. Hey, all right. So I need a recommendation. I've got to give my friend recommendation for an event DJ. It's not like a dance party situation.
Wedding?
No, it's not a wedding.
Is it a quinceañera?
No, it's not. But it's an event where they need to have a party DJ or an event DJ to play music. So if anyone knows, send me an email so I can forward these on to my friend. So if anyone knows, the folks that think that, I'm on the radio, so I must have a whole list of party DJs, or that, I show up on Saturday nights to DJ a wedding. I'm sorry, I don't do that.
Well, I mean, what is nice is when the couple times we've been to your house for dinner is when you pull out your turntables and you mix and stuff at the end of the night.
I mean,
that's fun.
Does he want somebody just to play music, or does he want a DJ to do his
No,
DJ
I
performance?
think they need someone just to play music at an event.
How about I just give my login to Pandora? All right, come on.
Just set up a phone.
Seriously.
All right, or Spotify.
How do you get roped into this? Why don't you just say, I don't know anybody?
Listen, I'm not roped in. I have a friend that asked for a favor, and I'm sure I'll get some emails. If you know an event DJ that can play music for an event that a friend of mine is having, send me an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com. That's mj@mjmorningshow.com.
If you recommend somebody and the guy sucks, it's on you, dude. Get out of this. Say, I don't know anybody. Go on Google.
What, are you having a stroke
Look
over
at
there?
MJ. Get out of it. Don't recommend people.
All right.
Listen to me. Hey, this is a listener who lives in Zephyr Hills who has his own speakers. We don't need to get involved in the weeds on that. You don't know anybody.
All right, 8:51. Send me some information. I'll pass it along.
Don't do that. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
What if the person sucks?
Caught in a trap.
I don't recommend
Hey,
it.
can you play that Elvis song? I'm caught in a trap. All right. 8:51 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. We have a solid hour to go. Well, almost an hour. Just shy of an hour left. The 9 o'clock hour starts next. We just wrapped up 1 hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ. If your garage doors It is the MJ Morning Show, 9:02 exactly, here on a Wednesday, day after Election Day. Not to belabor any points, I think everyone knows what the deal is. About 5:30 this morning, major media outlets officially declared Trump the winner by surpassing the 270 needed electoral votes. Some of the numbers are varying. You still have a couple of states out, but Trump has won. Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. Now, it looks like the Senate is going to flip to Republican. The question is on the House of Representatives. So will Republicans have the trifecta, the presidency and then both sides of Congress, the House and the Senate? That's going to be the big question. But we might not know for days or maybe even weeks what the situation is regarding the House of Representatives.
Why would it take that long?
Well,
are some of them so close that they need to be recounted again and again and again?
You got some very, very close races. Listen, the House of Representatives, every seat is up every 2 years.
Right.
So with the Senate, you only had a third or so. You only had, 34, I think, that were up. So the Senate, the classes in the Senate, because you have 6-year terms in the Senate, so you kind of are rotating like 3 different classes of the Senate. So those are staggered. With the House of Representatives, the way our founding fathers designed our governmental system, the House of Representatives, based on population, those terms are only 2 years. So every 2 years, so regular presidential elections and midterms, every single House seat is up for grabs. And Roxanne, how many House seats are there?
435.
That is 100% correct. So the question is, when you have that many seats, you're going to have just a bunch of close races. And when you're dealing with a razor-thin margin, it's just going to take time to sort out some of these races. And you might have some contentious races. You might have challenges. So that's why it could take a while to figure out where the House is going to land. Right now, you've got 203 Republican, 3 gain, and then you have 178 Democrats. So that's where it stands right. You've got 54 races that are uncalled, and the majority, to take control, you need 218. So those are where the numbers stand. You know, is it going to be that the Republicans will have a trifecta? House, Senate, and the White House? Or will there be a Democratic House of Representatives? So, listen, bottom line is you have the presidency will be Trump. The Senate's going to be Republican. What's going to happen on the House side? And that could be days or even weeks to find out where that falls. The other big item, obviously, here in Florida, Amendment number 4 has failed. It had the majority of the votes. However, it didn't reach the 60% threshold. And the other biggie was Amendment 3 here in Florida, and that was the recreational marijuana smoking. And while, again, it had the majority with 55.9% of the vote, it failed because it was 4.1% short of having 60% or that supermajority. So that's where things stand as far as some of the biggies out there.
Thanks for the update.
Oh, and also Hillsborough County, you had the very watched race for Hillsborough County State Attorney. Susie Lopez, duly elected, did beat Andrew Warren about 5 points. It's about a 5-point race where Susie Lopez will continue now as the duly elected Hillsborough County State Attorney. So that was obviously a very closely watched race as well. Hey, Roxanne, we talked about face rolling earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you do this. Let me see your lips. Yeah, you don't use fillers, right?
Yeah, I don't use fillers.
What is that? What is that
Look,
voice?
I'm doing a duck face right now.
What is the voice you just did?
I don't know.
I don't use fillers.
Sometimes when you make the duck face, you have to do that voice.
Yes,
Yeah.
it goes with the duck
It
face.
seems natural. You know, you can tell sometimes, maybe not every time, but if you get like a bad filler job, you know.
Yeah, it gets all lumpy, and it's almost like you got punched in a certain part of your lip, but not the whole thing. Anyway, I saw something last night, and, you know, you don't have, like, crazy, like, when you see, like, some of the dopey housewives shows, you know what I'm talking about? Or the Kardashians, and when you see lip filler, I mean, sometimes it's just, it's like clown-like. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I need some Botox, which is I used to get it like
What are
once
you
a
bobbing?
year.
Were you bobbing for Botox
Yeah, I'm
here?
bobbing for Botox. Yeah.
But that's the other thing. If you get Botox done wrong, it looks like you had a stroke or
Yeah,
something.
I think less is more with all of it. Less is more. Conservative on your face.
All right.
But liberal everywhere else.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, women are ditching lip fillers. So it has the big lip filler fad.
It's deflated.
Has it passed? Like the balloons that goes all through the room. Yeah, I guess from celebrities to regular everyday women that have had lip fillers, looks like the party's over.
I remember there was an advertisement. I think it was called Juvederm.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's one of the brands.
And it was such a pretty lady with like a beak because of the lip filler. And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's have a look.
Apparently there's some buyer's remorse for lip filler that's beginning to settle in.
I think there's a buyer's remorse for filler in general. I've been reading that people are doing less, less like in the cheeks and all of that because it looks weird sometimes if you overdo it.
The average patient and celebrities, apparently they're starting to regret getting filler years after it was injected, and they're now dissolving the lip filler, but there can be some side effects there as well.
Yeah, a friend of mine in Miami, Miami is always ahead of the curve on this stuff.
Listen, you know what it is? Like the South Beach crowd, or the hoity-toity Miami crowd. When you say, I'm assuming you're talking about Derek Jeter's wife.
No, absolutely not. I'm not. She's like, she's young. She doesn't need any of this
sometimes
stuff.
I caution you on not divulging too much personal information about the Jeters. No, but seriously, Miami's one of those.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm joking. But listen, Miami, there's plenty of it in the Tampa Bay area. Plenty of South Tampa mommies and plenty of stuff going on. However, it just appears that the lip filler craze is over. But I guess the story here is that some people are in immense pain. And some people are saying that it feels like their lips and their face is on fire.
Wow, that's not good.
That's not how they advertise it.
And also, there can be like a collapse.
Well, you know what else I think happens? And this is my friend who lives in Miami, and she's older. She's in her mid-50s. And I shouldn't say older, but she's in her mid-50s.
Oh, she's like a mummy.
She was telling me that
mid-50s not that old.
That's what I'm saying. I said that, and then I was like, no.
I was waiting for you to say she's 87.
No, so she
looks like Magda.
She was saying that people are moving away from fillers in general in Miami, and a lot of women are getting their fillers taken out. And I think some of it has to do is as people age and they realize, all right, I'm going to need a facelift to really do anything with this, and then maybe problems come. And this is a good question for your brother, but like, is it harder to do if someone's got all this bumpy, lumpy filler in there and then you're yanking the skin back?
Well,
I don't know.
What's going on, though, is there's a move now to dissolve some of the lumpy, bumpy filler that hasn't aged well. But also, you mentioned facelifts, man. There are some horror show facelifts that I've seen that are just awful.
I mean, this person looks like a naturally older person, and then it looks like somebody surprised the hell out of them.
Yeah,
and they can't get that look off their face.
Or you can hold a kid's trampoline birthday party on their face.
Yeah.
Listen, it's tough aging, right? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You got to try a little something to say, oh, I used to look like this. Let me maintain. But then if you try too much, then you look weird.
Just a heads up, if you're considering filler, there apparently is a lot of filler regret sometime later. And it looks like the trend on the filler is backing off, deflating a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. This is hysterical. A raccoon fell from the ceiling at a Spirit Airlines gate at LaGuardia.
Wow. That seems like a big rodent to make its way into an airport. I mean, if you're going to say a rat, that's one thing, but a raccoon?
Well, we had the rat. Was it Frontier or Spirit?
On the plane?
There was a rat on the plane, and it was up in the ceiling, and you could see the rat walking in the ceiling through the opaque or the kind of like the frosted plastic where the lights come out. And there's a rat just walking up in the ceiling of the airplane. But no, this is a raccoon. The hell is a raccoon? Listen, you got Central Park in Manhattan and, Queens. You've got LaGuardia is in Queens, and you got plenty of wooded space. Well, not plenty, but you got parks and wooded space. I mean, you do have animals. You have raccoons. But how the hell did a raccoon get in the ceiling at LaGuardia Airport and then falls out? I mean, this video of this thing.
I mean, that drop ceiling really can't support weight from the other side.
Raccoon was spotted hanging from the ceiling before it dropped to the floor. People are like, "Hey, Andrew, bring up the audio on this. Do you have? Fester has it. Hang on, listen to the audio on this. Listen to this. Look at this.
There he is.
Right over there.
And then the raccoon is running through the terminal at LaGuardia at one of the Spirit Airlines gates.
Somebody commented on X that this is the most LaGuardia thing and the most Spirit Airlines thing to happen.
I disagree. Maybe it's a spirity thing, but I don't see how it's a LaGuardia thing. And then incidentally,
LaGuardia is the stepchild to JFK.
Incidentally, oh, by the way, no, LaGuardia is real. The new portions of LaGuardia are phenomenal. The old, like, 1950s and 60s LaGuardia, that's gone. The new multi-billion-dollar LaGuardia rejuvenation project, it is fantastic. Especially where Delta is. I think Southwest as well. So, some of the new terminals are phenomenal at LaGuardia.
Yeah, the raccoon loves it.
Well, the raccoon at Spirit, apparently the raccoon was very, very upset because it turned out that the raccoon did not prepay for a carry-on and got whacked for $99 at the gate on Spirit. Right.
I mean, they clearly state you have to buy a bag before you get to the airport, raccoon. I don't know what your issue is.
I wonder where the raccoon was traveling. Is there any joke there? Raccoon was traveling from LaGuardia to...
Chattanooga?
Nah.
I mean, Tennessee? I don't know.
I don't know. But that's hysterical, man. Can you imagine? The last thing you'd expect is a raccoon to fall out of the ceiling.
Yeah.
What if a raccoon was... a lot of times, if you see a raccoon during the day, there's concern that it could be rabid because raccoons are nocturnal.
That's true. Oh, that's a great point.
Also, wouldn't the raccoon want to take the red eye?
Right. Yeah. We don't know what time of day this flight was.
Raccoon definitely looks like he took the red eye with the circles under his eyes.
I don't know if Spirit has any red eye flights either. But man, that's hysterical. And the video's all floating around. So J-Lo is getting smacked by none other than, hello, my name is...
Oh, that's not a great impression of anything.
Who do you think it is? Take a guess. Come on.
Hello, my name is...
Hello, my name is...
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die.
No.
That's a line from Princess Bride. That's going way back.
Really?
Thought that was Tony Montana. Thought that was Scarface or something. Come on.
Hello, my name is...
All right. Elon Musk.
It's a terrible Elon.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Listen, does anyone really do an impression of Elon Musk?
I thought it was a gay German or something. I had no idea what you were doing.
All right, here's the deal. And this has some validity. And this is uncomfortable. Why is Elon Musk going after J-Lo? We've brought this up ourselves. This has come up in conversation, but when you have a high-profile individual, is he currently the richest guy on the planet?
He currently is, yes.
Can you imagine? You flush $44 billion down the toilet by buying Twitter, which then is now called X, and you're richer than ever after flushing $44 billion down the toilet.
That's what you get for owning our space program.
I got an issue with that too.
He's like the sole owner of the everything we send to space.
Yeah. And, like Boeing is thinking about like getting out of the space business after their colossal F up. Anyway, listen, we brought this up ourselves. The story here is now you've got the richest guy on the planet that's going after J-Lo, and Elon Musk is going after J-Lo.
Over what?
Yeah, he was on Rogan, and apparently the whole Diddy situation came up. And, well, Fester, it's quite obvious because we talked about this, is why didn't Jennifer Lopez warn people about Diddy?
You know, a lot of people kept quiet on Diddy.
Yeah.
And who knows?
No, we talked about that as well, that, when these lawsuits start flying, so you've got the civil lawsuits against Diddy, but the big deal, obviously, is the criminal case against Diddy by the feds, and how much stuff is going to come out. I mean, how many celebrities are just uncomfortable? Are there going to be further careers wrecked?
I think so.
Because they're going to be exposed as complicit, exposed as having repeated
participation in the freak off?
And appearances at the freak off parties. Yeah.
Is someone else going to go to jail? Someone else going to serve time because of this?
Who else is going down because of the whole Diddy situation and the freak offs? And then, this certainly has got to be uncomfortable. Here's Elon Musk getting, a ton of press now that he went after J-Lo.
I mean, anybody who's been in Diddy's circle for the last 20 years can be asked the question, why did you cover for him, or what did you know?
Yeah. So it's very uncomfortable. Why? Elon Musk essentially asked, why didn't J-Lo warn people about Diddy? It's a fair question.
How much did she know? How much did she hear?
Yep. So I thought that was remarkably interesting. It is 9:20 here on the MJ Morning Show. Coming up on 9:20. When we get back, it's the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Roxanne, would you like to be happy?
I'd love to be happy.
Would you like to be happy and less anxious? Because you're a very anxious individual.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, if I were a doc, I'd be prescribing you Xanny bars like once an hour. All right? No, seriously. All kidding aside. I'm gonna tell you what.
Do you know it's a special day today? Is that what this is about?
No.
Okay, well then I've got something for you.
Okay.
Along these lines.
Well, I have something to make you more relaxed.
Okay.
And less anxious.
Well, this timing couldn't be better.
So you're saying that there's some special thing today on the 6th of November?
Yep, there is.
All right, I guess I'll surprise Roxanne, and Roxanne will surprise me.
Big old surprise party around here.
Also, Tom Hanks, man, he went after some critics using the C word and everything.
Over his new movie where he ages weirdly?
Yeah, hang on a minute. So I got a couple of Hollywood things, got some celebrity stuff we'll get to. Got a nice chunked up final segment of the MJ Morning Show next, right here on Q105. Hey, you've got a little bit of time left. is 9:28, MJ Morning Show, the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on a Wednesday, the day after. All right, Roxanne, you have something for me. I have something for you. You know, Fester, this might be something beneficial for yous as well.
All right, I'll take it. I'll take what you got.
If you wear this color, it could make you more relaxed, reduce your anxiety. Do you know what color it is?
I'm going to narrow it down. I know a lot about colors.
I don't know the answer.
Okay, smart girl. Just blurt out.
Right.
What is the color that will make you less anxious? It'll relax you. It'll reduce your it'll reduce your blood pressure and heart rate potentially.
Now I'm going to tell you something about red. Red does the opposite. It invigorates you, gives you energy. Sometimes makes you angry even when you wear it or see it. Green gives like healthy vibes, right? So
What's your answer?
I'm going to narrow it down. I have two. It's either yellow. Yellow makes you happy, or it's blue. Blue makes you calm. So if you want to be calm or happy, it depends. You kind of said it's both. So maybe wear a blue and yellow shirt.
Oh my God! Just give one answer.
Blue or yellow? Which is it?
It's actually green.
Yeah, I was gonna guess green. The combination of blue and yellow.
But wait a sec.
There you go.
But there are some of the other colors you've mentioned that have some other alleged. I mean, it's just hocus pocus garment crap here. I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
I feel
All right, but here's the deal. They say that green can lower your blood pressure, reduce your heart rate, but there are other colors that could be beneficial as well. That pink can make you feel comfortable.
Oh.
Yellow, which I think you said this, yellow can make you happier.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And green is if you want like a total balance. So
blue makes you tranquil. So yeah, that makes sense. The blue and the yellow together makes green.
This says the blue makes you suicidal. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't say that.
I'm so relaxed I can kill myself right now. Nobody cares.
Did you know that on Mondays people are more likely to wear black? Just
why is that?
Subconsciously, it's like the death of the weekend.
Or maybe it's funeral wear that you wore on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, this I slept in.
And it was a wild funeral.
Uncle Bill.
Green is the psychological primary color that balances the other three: red, yellow, and blue.
Cool.
So green it up good, and eat green M&Ms while you're at it. All right. So now you had something for moi.
I do. Guess what today is?
Is this? Oh, this is a quiz. I'm supposed to guess what today is.
Play your music.
What
Guess
music is that?
Your quiz music for yourself. Quiz yourself. Yeah.
Now I'm going to do my different quiz music.
Okay.
Instead of that quiz music, I'm going to do this quiz music. Ask me the question again, please.
Today is National Blank Day.
Oh, jeez. I hate these national
I know you
days.
do. I know you do.
You're negating the effects of my green wardrobe today.
But am I? If you guess correctly, I'm not. Today is National Blank Awareness Day. Now, I filled in the blank for one of the words. It's National Awareness Day.
Pervert.
Was that
National Pervert Awareness Day?
Was that a P or was that a sound?
That was just a psst. It was just a blank.
Is it National Dwarf Awareness Day?
No, I'm going to give you a clue. It's National.
Well, first of all, I hate these national days.
Yeah.
Are you doing this to annoy me?
Maybe, but she's.
You're trying to get under my skin?
Yeah.
Let it happen. She's kind of making it fun.
Okay. Maybe a glass of wine is deserved on this particular day. Maybe a massage.
National Divorce Awareness Day?
Maybe some meditation. Maybe some Xanax.
National Anxiety Awareness Day?
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. It's National Stress Awareness Day.
Oh, geez.
And it doesn't always come right after the election. You can stop playing the music now.
Yeah, that's stressing me out.
Yeah.
That's stressing you out? This is pretty annoying, isn't it?
It really is.
So it doesn't always fall after the election, but let me see. It's a national day, National Stress Awareness Day.
If it's the first Wednesday of November,
let me tell you right now that there are probably 12 national days today, and I hate the national days. It's a stretch. It's a marketing gimmick. Fester, just to prove a point, go to the national day list, and let's look at today, Wednesday, November 6th, and let's see what all of the national days today is. And let's also see if Roxanne and her thing is on the calendar. I keep going. Go to the 6th. You're on November 1.
I got to scroll down.
Keep going. Yeah, because each day has like a dozen freaking things. All right, here we go.
All right.
So
she's right. The first thing that comes up is
the first Wednesday in November.
Which makes sense because the first Tuesday in November is election day. So every other year it falls after an election.
All right. So listen to all these dopey days that are today. So first Wednesday in November is today, and it's the 6th. So it's not necessarily the 6th. It's just the first Wednesday in November happens to be the 6th, and it's National Stress Awareness Day.
Now, other days designate November 6th as their day.
All right. So these are other national days that are specifically the 6th of November. National Nachos Day.
Oh, wow.
National Saxophone Day. I mean, come on.
I love you,
this
Kenny
is
G.
ridiculous.
Eat some nachos and listen to the saxophone. You'll de-stress you. It all goes together.
Those are the only 3.
It's a pretty light day. We could find other ones.
Yeah, come on. There are some days that have like 10 different things.
All right. Roxanne, thank you for making us aware of stress.
Yeah, and he just gave us a good way to de-stress ourselves. Wearing green, so it all tied together.
Yes. And
Has anyone rushed out to get the Warren Buffett license plate? Warren Buffett, sorry. Hang on a minute.
You know what?
I screwed that up.
If there's one guy whose license plate I would get, it's Warren Buffett.
I screwed it up.
It's a good one.
Listen.
I meant to say the Jimmy Buffett license plate.
If I could somehow tie myself to the Oracle of Omaha in any capacity, I would.
Listen, that was a little bit of a slip, but you know what? It's very telling because I've got much more interest in Warren Buffett than Jimmy Buffett, okay?
Right.
All right, let me just be honest here. And when I saw this, I was thinking about Froggy because Froggy's like this, big Jimmy Buffett parrot head fan.
How sad is this license plate, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is sad.
It is.
I've never seen it up until just now, and this is the most heartbreaking license
Yeah,
plate
it kind of
I've
makes you
ever
want to
seen.
crash into the car in front of you if you see it.
It's like empty and sad. Or now, is that the
Yeah.
final version?
This is
no, that was one of the proposed designs. The final design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the final design has a parrot sitting on Margaritaville. So at the bottom it says Margaritaville, then on top it says Florida. It's a beach scene. You got a couple of palm trees. Looks like you have a seaplane. Didn't one of those seaplanes crash some years ago in Miami? I think it did. And then you got a parrot sitting on top of the Margaritaville deal. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up, and I don't know if this is the latest figure, is that the pre-order for the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville license plate went on pre-order last month in October. In order for the state, and this is interesting, in order for the state of Florida to produce a specialty license plate, and I'll tell you what, when I took Julian to the DMV, to get his driving test,
it's mind-boggling how many they have.
Oh my God. I think I counted like 140 different license plates. You know, it drives cops crazy because they can't look at a car in some cases. And listen, if it's a Buccaneers plate, you know it's Florida. If it's the Manatee plate, or there's some of the school plates, the college and university plate, but 140 license plates.
And there are some really obscure schools that you've never really heard of. It's not a large university, but they get a license plate.
Oh yeah, Clewiston Ass Clown Academy is one.
All right, I was not accepted to Clewiston Ass Clown Academy. I entered.
Why not? You're a model student.
My record.
All right, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that you got to have at least 3,000 pre-orders, and the last I saw, the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville license plate only had 777 pre-orders. That was as of late October. So I wonder if it's picked up, because if they don't get 3,000 pre-orders, you know what? You think Froggy would pick up the phone? Hang on. Let me see.
I mean, he didn't pick up the phone when he liked talking to you.
Yeah. I'm just curious. I wonder if Froggy's going to put his Jimmy Buffett fandom where his mouth is. Did Froggy pre-order a Jimmy Buffett license plate? He's not going to pick up.
No.
He never picks up.
Please leave a message.
Yeah. Please leave a message at the tone.
All right, so this is the final plate with the parrot on the Margaritaville.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
The parrot's on the Margaritaville. You got the seaplane.
Please leave a message after the beep.
I'm going to call one more time.
One of the other renderings was just like this empty Adirondack chair, which is the really, really sad one, which is the first one that pops up when you type in images. There's no
it was a proposal. It was the beach scene, like a lagoon, some palm trees, and there was like a soul, like what's the chair called? The
Adirondack.
The Adirondack wooden chair. And you know what I thought of is like, man, this is signifying the empty chair is like, Jimmy's dead.
Yep.
It was just kind of morbid, really. Yeah, Froggy's not going to pick up. I'll leave him a message. Because if he is not,
please leave a message after the beep.
At the tone, please record your message.
Right.
When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yo, dude, it's MJ and
Fester
and
Roxanne.
We want to know if you put your money where your parrot head is or where your cheeseburger is. Did you pre-order a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville Florida license plate? Because they've got to have 3,000 pre-orders in order to make the plate and offer it at the the tax collector's office or the DMVs. And as of the end of October, there were only like 777 pre-orders. So have you pre-ordered your little parrot head license plate, your Margaritaville license plate? That's what we want to know. Call us back immediately.
Or never again, and I'd understand.
If not sooner. All right. Now, but Florida, another, that's all we need. Another license plate. Can you imagine? I mean, you're like the victim of a hit and run, and you're like, The cops are asking, well, what about the license plate? I don't know. There are 140 plates out there. How do you know? Anyway, so any parent heads out there, if you want to see the plate, you better jump on it because 777 pre-orders is not going to cut the mustard on that one.
Jimmy needs you, parrot heads.
Apparently so. Tom Hanks. He is getting a little more ornery in his older age when it comes to any criticism about his movies. He called critics the C word sucker.
Gosh.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's too much.
I thought Tom Hanks was like the nicest guy in Hollywood.
Yeah, man, talks a little salty. Everybody thought P. Diddy was really nice too up until 6 months ago.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of fun and games with him.
Yeah, so I guess Tom Hanks was having a conversation with Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien and his podcast.
I mean, you get a couple of comics together. I mean, okay, big deal.
My God, everyone has a podcast. Who doesn't have a podcast these days? Everyone thinks they need a podcast. So Tom Hanks was on with Conan O'Brien, and he just ripped into critics for ripping some of his movies over the years. It's nothing. What did Tom do recently that got kind of crappy reviews? What's Tom Hanks's latest movie?
Isn't it one that's about to come out about him aging through the years at a house? And there's like him and his bride entering this room, and then at the end of the commercial, you see them like blowing out like 50th anniversary cake.
All right. Well, he's commenting over his career, and I guess when critics have gone after his movies or they've criticized the movie, and that's what they are, they're a critic. So Tom Hanks rips into the critics.
Let me tell you something about these who write about movies. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a podcast.
Yeah. My father writes about movies. And his name is
So right, they're joking around.
That's a joke.
It was a bleep sucker is what he called some of the movie critics.
I've called people that the joking way and the mean way. And let me tell you, that was the joking way.
That was the joking way.
Has Tom Cruise ever even used the F-bomb in a movie?
You mean Tom Hanks?
What'd I say?
Cruise.
Hanks, yes.
Either of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what?
Question.
That is a good question. I don't know if Tom Hanks has ever uttered the F word in a freaking movie.
I think when he was acting like Sully, landing the plane on the Hudson, he was like, "Oh, F, we're landing in the river. We're landing in the effing river."
I mean, if someone had reason to use that word, and his characters definitely have Castaway. How bad did that stink? Getting stuck on that island, drop some F-bombs.
Saving Private Ryan.
Listen.
Definitely had some good reasons.
Hold on a second. When he cut himself up on the coral, on the breaking waves on the island. Remember he cut himself up on the coral?
Yeah.
In the Wilson movie?
Castaway.
In Castaway. Remember that? When he got... And listen, coral can be really sharp. Did he scream the F-bomb when he got cut up by the coral? I'm just curious.
You know what?
And you know who did yell the F-bomb?
Who?
The dude that blew off his fingers when celebrating the LA Dodgers World Series win. I have an update on that dude.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, my God. So, 2 fingers blown off. It actually looked worse. I mean, it looked like his whole hand went through the hamburger machine at the butcher at the Winn-Dixie.
All right.
Are they still the beef people at Winn-Dixie?
They're now the finger people. I don't know that. I love Winn-Dixie, so apologies.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know much about Tom Hanks cursing in movies, but there's apparently several times when he's either cursed at fans or dropped it on. Here's one from 2012 where he drops the F-bomb on Good Morning America.
Oh, wow.
Just talking to
the
host.
Yeah, the LA Dodgers fan blew off 2 fingers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Kevin King Sr. told Fox 11 Los Angeles his 25-year-old son, Kevin King Jr., is now without the pointer finger and the middle finger on his left hand. So he can't flip anyone the bird on his left hand because the bird was blown off.
Yikes.
Can't even throw a fork ball.
Gone. Man, that's rough.
If you're the Dodgers, do you give him like a foam finger?
Give him a number one.
Yeah, the number one thing. Yeah.
Give him the big number one foam finger to replace his blown-off fingers on his left hand.
Poor bastard.
All right, leave the fireworks to the professionals, folks. Have a great one. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. This is 104.7 FM. If you need to email me, I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. My Instagram, give me a follow, is Certified MJ Radio. In fact, I need 14 new followers right now. Follow me. Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. If I don't get 14 followers right now, I'm going to blow Fester's arm off with a grenade. Yes! All right, we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great day. And do me a favor, let's be careful out there.
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests, powered by Anajar.